There we go. My audio should be being picked up. And I think my audio is probably being picked up on TikTok now, which is good. Okay, I think that we are all set. Let me just pop out my chats and we will be all good to go. Welcome, welcome. As you're streaming in, make sure to like the live. It's a good way to get more people in here. Oh, actually, correction. I also need to open up the other. I also need to open up the other way so that YouTube guests can join. FLERFS would be mad if they could read the prompts. That's a good point. Turns out reading is hard. Allow. There we go. Okay, so I think that we are all set to go. And we can start bringing up guests when they show up. All right, I hope everybody's having a good, whatever day it is, Thursday. So yeah, I hope everybody's having a good one. All right. Oh, actually, let us just double check and make sure that our platforms are connected. Indeed, they are. Great. All right, so we did just start 2 minutes ago, so it might take a minute or two to start getting some guests. Oh, looks like we have our first guest. Let's talk to Blake. Blake Brown, how's it going?
I'm sorry, I just read the opposition only.
Okay, well, thanks for being here, bud.
Sorry.
You're good. All right, let's talk to Mark Henry.
Hey, how's it going?
Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I don't know why people are so quick to say that it's dead, but we have irrefutable evidence that NASA is faking the pictures from what they call space. It's not real, and I think it's disingenuous to the American people to say that the flat Earth theory is dead, but it's fully well alive, and people know it deep down.
So then, what do you make of the whole business that they did in Antarctica last winter?
Well, Antarctica is actually it's actually not what people think it is. And Antarctica, a lot of people think that you can go there, but it's not actually something that exists. It's an ice wall.
So what do you make of the people that went there last winter?
Well, I haven't heard of that. I don't know if they're...
Oh, you didn't hear about this? This is a big deal.
They're making a sort of claim that they want to make money.
It was live streamed. They brought a bunch of flat earthers to Antarctica.
You said it's a business, so what? They want to like market like
it's not literally a business. I said, you know, the business with, as in like the affairs that happened. It's a phrase, right?
So they brought them to the ice wall, and what?
No, they brought them to Antarctica. They were standing on Antarctica. They were on the ice, right? In fact, they camped there.
I've never seen that before. I would.
You should read about it. It's called The Final Experiment. It was all over the news, actually. It was called The Final Experiment.
The Final Experiment?
Yeah, so there's a rich guy, like a rich, I think he was a former pastor.
How did he get that rich?
He had a friend who worked in finance who died and left him his money.
How do we know that he's not just using this as some sort of way to... No, he brought them to the ice wall.
No, he brought them on top of Antarctica. So they weren't like in the water looking up at like a big ice wall. By the way, there is no ice wall. They were camping on Antarctica. They were there and they saw 24-hour sun.
It says very clearly in the Bible that there is no man who can surpass the will of God himself.
I'm sorry.
And
do you think that that's
if-
related to what we're talking about?
Well, yeah, because no man is above God. And
I'm
we
sorry.
are
Do you
not
think that that has anything to do with what I'm talking about?
If you brought them to this so-called Antarctica, you're trying to get them to go over the ice wall.
No, they were already. They didn't land at the ice wall. They landed at the shore. You know that there's shore in Antarctica, right?
So what? He took them and climbed up to the top of the ice wall?
There's not an ice wall. There's beaches. Antarctica has beaches.
No, that's.
But actually, they flew to Antarctica.
That's insane.
They actually flew to Antarctica.
Beaches.
So
even the scientists could go there with like a thermometer. There are no beaches.
of course there are beaches.
So there's sand. You mean to tell me
Well,
that
it's like rocky.
Sand?
It's not like a pleasant beach, but yeah, there's like rocky beaches. Yeah. Like you probably wouldn't want to walk around on it like barefoot because I'm sure it's cold, and B, it's not like pleasant sand. But yeah, you can just look up like Antarctica beach on Google. Like it's so easy to see. What you're referring to as the ice wall is called the Ross Ice Shelf, and it's a large ice shelf that is like 100 miles across or something like this. And that's only like one small portion. I'm sorry, I was in the middle of my sentence. That's only one small portion of the Antarctic coast.
I have one issue with the scientists calling it an ice shelf. These are the same people that are saying that if the ice shelf were to melt, then our whole planet would just turn into like an oven and everything floods.
I think that you're a little confused.
Acknowledging the fact that there's an ice wall.
So there are ice shelves, right? Ice shelves have a lot of ice, and they don't have land beneath them. Then there's the continent of Antarctica, which has land and then a whole bunch of ice on top of it, right? So the ice shelves are essentially overhanging into the ocean. If those melt, that's not so great because that's a lot of extra water that we're adding to the ocean, right? However, that's independent of the idea that there's land in Antarctica that's not covered in ice, and there's most of Antarctica, the center of Antarctica, is covered in ice and has land beneath it. And this is not an ice shelf. It's not an ice wall either. It's just normal land covered in ice. Lots and lots of ice, but ice nonetheless.
Well, they just call it that so that way that people think that it's some sort of way that we need to protect some sort of like laws or anything that make it so that we can't have affordable gas, or we can't use electricity.
What are you talking about?
Because they don't want to melt the ice wall, but they acknowledge that the ice wall exists.
It's not an ice wall. Find me one scientist who calls it an ice wall. It's called an ice shelf.
Well, they don't call it ice walls. They call it glaciers.
So, by the way, what you are confusing glaciers with the Ross Ice Shelf. Glaciers are essentially like frozen landslides made of ice that are very, very long and are sitting on top of land. You're thinking of the Ross Ice Shelf, which is that really cool picture of like a big brick of ice that's like a few hundred feet tall that's right up next to the ocean. That's the Ross Ice Shelf.
That ice wall is like at least a mile deep. I don't know if you can say that.
I think it's like 300 feet tall. It doesn't extend into the ocean either.
Well, then how do you explain like the Titanic? Didn't they say that like it was just like a piece
this has got to be a troll. Is this Mark? Are you trolling me?
No, I'm being legitimately serious, because we can't say that there's no ice wall and say that there are smaller like icebergs.
Yeah, icebergs. And icebergs have nothing to do with your supposed ice wall. What does the Titanic have to do with this?
You said that there's nothing underneath the ice wall.
Underneath the ice shelf. It's a shelf. Yeah, it's an ice shelf. There's not like, it doesn't extend into the water a mile. It's an ice shelf. It's over the water.
If an iceberg can sink a 400-ton ship.
What does this have to do with the ice shelves are not icebergs?
Okay, well, there's more evidence to say that the Earth isn't.
What's the evidence that there's an ice wall, by the way?
you can't go past it.
What's the evidence that there's an ice wall?
I'm trolling. I'm sorry. I can't keep it in.
That's a real
can
good way to
believe
get banned, by the way. Mods, just block him. You're just wasting time. Like, it's super disrespectful, right?
Hello, my friend.
570, how's it going?
Good, good.
I'm glad to hear it. Do you think the Earth is flat?
How would you get something underneath for fuel?
I'm sorry, can you answer the question, please?
Okay, but if you, how can I say, make a vacuum, meaning,
I'm sorry, can you answer the question, please? Do you think the
Are
Earth...
you
What shape
engineer?
do you think the Earth is?
Definitely round.
Okay, you think it's round? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Reading is hard, apparently. Jessica, how's it going? Jessica? Jessica? Okay, looks like Jessica's not coming up today. That's fine. Hee hee, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. What shape do you think the Earth is?
Circle. I'm just here to say you're doing a great job.
All right, well, thanks for being here. But please read the background. CJ, how's it going?
Hello.
CJ,
Hello.
can you hear me?
I think I'm lagging.
Sounds like you are. Feel free to rejoin when your lag is fixed. Let's talk to Noel. Noel, how's it going?
Hey, Andy,
Fine, thanks.
There's two of you. Do either of you...
No,
what,
it's not. It's just my friend.
what shape do you guys think the Earth is?
We think the Earth is flat.
You should not be watching on YouTube, by the way. You should be watching on TikTok. Otherwise, there will be a big delay.
It's my internet. I'm
Oh.
watching on TikTok.
All right. Well, there's a huge delay, so we can't do that. I guess the flat earthers are done. I guess we've removed all of them. Silly man or Silly Milan. I'm sorry. How's it going?
Good. Do you like
What-
to play with your pussy?
Seems like you're not interested in having a discussion about the background. What an odd thing to ask. Ultra fun. How's it going?
It's going good. I think it's flat. I know because I skipped it across Lake Superior yesterday.
Okay, so you do think the Earth is flat?
Absolutely.
Okay, and what do you mean you skipped it across Lake Superior?
I've talked to a pilot. I caught them. We were in an elevator, had a long elevator ride, and the conversation went out into the hallway. And he said it's definitely flat. The pilot convinced me.
Okay, what if a scientist told you that it was definitely spherical?
Well, scientists have said a lot of things that are wrong.
So have pilots.
Yeah, pilots. I think we trust them to get us safely to wherever we want to go, and they fly for a living, and they would know.
Would they?
Yeah.
So if I brought it, so if I showed you videos of pilots saying the Earth is a sphere, would you believe them?
Yeah, I mean, I have inclinations already that it's flat anyway.
Okay, so like the pilot just confirmed your bias?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you see a problem with that?
No, I like thinking that the Earth is flat. It's fun. It makes it you know, it's just a more fun thing to think.
Ultra fun. Are you trolling me?
No, I'm not. I really enjoy thinking the Earth is flat.
Do you actually think it is flat?
Yes.
Promise. You know lying's a sin.
I do. I think it's flat. I used to think it's round, but now no way, because if you were to dig a hole to the other side of the Earth, you know, what would happen? You would come out upside down.
Bro is absolutely a troll. All right, let's read some super chats. So Grimlock sends, don't forget to hydrate. My disappointment in certain humans this morning is immeasurable. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But yes, I will remember to hydrate. And then we have $3.11 from Gretchen saying, great job, Blitz. Keep it up. That's how you do it. Well, I appreciate that. And 5 Canuck bucks from Roger That saying, recently found this channel and I enjoy it thoroughly. Just a quick hello and thanks for the great content. Keep it coming. I will do my best. However, it seems like we're running into a problem. All the flat earthers are gone. I guess the flat earthers have run away. Well, before I'm going to give it a little bit before I switch topics and change some other topic that, you know, we'll get more guests. But before I do that, I should shill for my my new YouTube channel. So I do have a new YouTube channel where I will be posting more debunking content. I will be posting clips from these debates in case you missed them. So make sure to go follow that YouTube channel. I really want to get it to 1,000 subscribers today so that we can start monetizing. The YouTube channel is Dr. Blitz Debunks on YouTube. Just search Dr. Blitz Debunks. I will paste a link to the channel in the YouTube chat. And if you're on TikTok, you can go find it in the link tree in my bio. So you should make sure to go follow that. And we're about 200 subscribers away from hitting 1,000, so that's quite good. Also, there's some good content there. Anyway, so it looks like we're not going to get any content from the flat Earth community today. So we might have to switch topics. So I guess we can switch over to creationism. Always a great topic. First, some super chats, and then we'll switch. So we have $2 from Orion Cooper. I debate on TikTok too. FLERFs are in hiding now. They absolutely are. The FLERFs have been in hiding for a long time, but sometimes we get some good bites. And then we have from Stinky Ethian, as always, $3.15 from Ethian4, and $3.15 from Ethian. Absolutely. So if there are any flat earthers in the comments and you guys want to talk, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we're just going to change the topics. Oh, Tater Salad, it looks like you want to talk. Let's bring you up. Are you a flat earther? Bro saying, scared. Tater Salad.
Oh.
Tater Salad, what shape do you think the Earth is?
What's up? Yeah.
What
How's
shape
it going? Can you hear me?
I'm doing all right. What shape do you think the Earth is?
It's flat for sure.
Why do you think so?
God put the firmament around it. There is
Why do you
no
think
escape.
so? Why do you think so?
Because he told me himself.
God talked to you.
Yeah.
Personally.
I mean, he can call me crazy. Yeah, he can call me crazy. He does it all the time.
That does sound a little worrying. Have you talked to a professional?
No, I don't think there's a need to. The only professional I got is the good Lord Savior, Jesus
Okay.
Christ himself.
And what would you make of the photos of the Earth from space?
Just CGI, you know, it's just fake. You know, there's been videos of people flipping plates upside down and making people think it's space, and just like holding your phone upside down and looking at the sky.
Hey, Tater Salad.
Looking like you up.
Hey, Tater Salad, what's the cause of nighttime?
What's the cause of nighttime?
Mm-hmm.
It is the sun not being in our reach and causing darkness.
What does that mean?
That means there is no light reaching us.
No,
in
I mean,
that
what does it
current
mean that it's
location.
not in our reach?
It's just beyond our reach. It doesn't stretch. It's like, you
What
know,
doesn't
a light bulb ain't gonna light up your way, you know, a mile away.
And what's at the center of the flat Earth?
At the flat Earth, I don't know. I can't answer that for you.
Oh.
I would say it's just more rock and dirt until you
No, I'm
get
sorry.
to the...
So the Earth is flat, so it has a middle, right?
No, not really.
Does a plate have a middle?
I mean, I guess anything has a middle. Like
Does a
anything.
plate have a
Anything
middle?
could be a middle of anything. That could be a middle of a parking lot.
Yeah, so like what's the middle of the flat Earth?
I guess just more rock and dirt till you get below it, and as above and that so below, you know? Surrounded by the waters in the heavens.
So what's at the edge of the flat Earth?
I guess it would be the firmament. And they actually had, we've heard of Project Fishbowl?
I have.
Yeah. Well, what was that all about?
You tell me.
No, you tell me. I want to know if you know. I asked you the question, sir.
So Project Fishbowl was a high-altitude nuclear weapons test. Or is a series of high-altitude nuclear weapons tests. So what's the purpose of bringing it up?
Altitudes they had different altitudes as the further you got to the edge, right? Or the Antarctic, is what they
What do you mean they had different altitudes? They were all done in the North Pacific.
The limit of their altitude that they could send their rockets before they explode.
So how high was the... So wait a minute, are we trusting the military now?
I mean, we're gonna take what's written down as facts.
But NASA has it written down that people have been to the moon.
Well, I mean, people can write down lies too, so I guess.
So why are you believing the military then when they write things down?
I guess I can't really tell you that. It's just, you know, I guess maybe it's God telling me what to believe and what to look past.
So, to be clear, you're telling me that God personally speaks to you, told you that the Earth was flat?
I think he speaks to everybody if you listen.
Oh, what does he sound like?
He sounds like yourself, really. Can be really
How do you know
confusing.
it's not yourself then?
You just know.
You just know. How? How do you know?
You feel it.
You feel
Once
it.
you
So
have that
feel.
faith,
So you have a feeling that your own internal voice sounds like God, and then you listen to it.
No, it's
Is that
not
what you're telling me?
It's not even a voice. It's not even a voice.
Oh, so you don't.
It's
So
just-
God doesn't talk to you.
It's more like a feeling. It's like a feeling, like an instinct.
So you
really.
have an instinct that the Earth is flat, is what you're telling me.
No, that's not what I'm telling you.
Oh.
I'm just trying to tell you my personal relationship with God because
Well,
you know.
so then
I
how do you
listen-
know the Earth is flat? If this doesn't have anything to do with the shape of the Earth, then why did you bring it up?
Oh, and what do you mean it doesn't have anything to do with the shape of the
Well,
Earth?
you
We're
said.
just
I
going
thought
on
that at the
tangent.
beginning you said that God told you the Earth was flat.
He did.
Oh, okay, but God doesn't actually talk to you. You just have a feeling.
I mean, that's why I said it's confusing. You just gotta know. You feel
So
it.
is it a feeling or does God talk to you? Because those are different things, right?
I don't know. You gotta talk to God yourself to find out.
Okay, how do I do
But
that?
you know, you just gotta talk to him and be personal about it, and gotta believe and have faith.
Hey, buddy God. What's up, Home Slice? Is the Earth flat? Is that personal enough?
Oh, that's sarcastic as hell.
Well, how am I supposed to be more sincere?
Well, you do
How
it
can I
when
get
you're
how can I
alone.
get the flat Earth feeling?
You do it when you're alone.
Oh,
And
okay.
you don't have no outside distraction.
So what you're telling me, so just to be clear, did you hear a voice telling you the Earth was flat?
No, I told you it's not a voice.
Okay, so you didn't hear a voice. So you didn't hear anything. What you're telling me.
Well, let me explain it like this. This is one example.
Please.
I was with my baby mama, and her two oldest kids, their dad was coming to get them. It's my first time meeting them. We just say hello and shake hands and go about our business. As soon as I turn around, I looked at my baby mama and I said, "He's a pedophile." And he knows
You can't say that on
instinct.
TikTok.
No, what? That he was a pedophile?
You can't
He
say
got
that
charged
word.
for it.
You can't say that word on TikTok.
He was a edo mile,
Sure.
Whatever.
Why are you bringing this up?
Because it's just one of those moments God speaks to me and was trying to save my family, and
Okay,
I didn't listen.
but look, I
2 years
asked if
later.
you heard something. If you literally heard something.
No, it wasn't.
Did
it
you or
wasn't
did you
a
not?
voice. That's what I'm
Okay,
trying
so
to
you
tell
don't.
How
So
many
you
times
don't.
I have to tell you it's
Right.
not a
Okay.
voice? It's
So
like
it's not a voice. So
instinct.
God doesn't
It's
talk to
very
you.
confusing. Yes, he talks to you.
Well,
He talks to
talking,
everybody.
the way that you hear talking is from a sound. You hear it. So if it's not
Well,
a
you don't
sound,
hear
if
it.
you're not hearing it, then it's not
coming from
talking.
it's not coming from an external source.
Okay,
It's
but are
coming
you
from
hearing it internally? Are you hearing voices in your head?
No, it's not a voice in my head.
If it's not a
either,
voice,
you
then
know?
you're not hearing
Like
it.
an instinct.
If it's not an internal voice, if it's not an external voice, then you're not hearing it. It's just a feeling.
Hey, I'm gonna text you about 10:20 tonight.
Yeah. I'll be ready. Man, we gotta make that money, bro.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, had a visitor come up.
You're good.
But,
So look,
yeah.
it seems like you had a feeling that the Earth is flat. Like what? What? So why do you think the Earth is flat now?
Because God made this earth.
How do you look? That
He
may
made
very
the
well be
heavens.
true. That may very well be true. Maybe there's a God that made the Earth. How does that mean the Earth is flat?
Because he set it on its foundation and separated the waters from above.
So
and
do you
below.
believe everything as written in the Bible is literally true?
No, sir, I don't.
So then why do you believe that part?
Because it speaks to me.
Because that particular part speaks to you?
Yeah, and it's just, like that instinct kind of thing, I know it's hard and it's confusing. I know it's.
So
I
is
know
there
it's
any kind of evidence that could convince you that you're wrong?
Maybe take me out there yourself, that'd probably convince me. But I don't think it's real. And I actually used to be a real big believer in space and stuff.
What do you
I
think?
really did.
What do you think the the photos are that people can take from their backyard when they're taking a picture of another galaxy or they're taking a picture of Jupiter? What do you think that they're taking a picture of?
I mean, what do you think Ed, and Eddie is? Like, what do you think, what is it? What's that movie with the... God dang it, it's a famous movie with the blue people. What do you think that is?
Well, wait a minute. No. I'm talking about like people can point their own telescopes at the sky.
What people can do to manipulate and
We're not
trick.
talking about some government agency. You can just buy a telescope and point it at the sky and see stuff, right?
I actually did. Have you ever looked at a star through a
I have,
telescope?
yeah. It's really unremarkable actually. So like when
Really
somebody
is.
is seeing Jupiter, what are they seeing?
I can't really say for sure, but it's something miraculous, and it's
And
not.
when somebody
not
sees the
feasible to
moons of
go
Jupiter, when somebody sees the moons of Jupiter going around Jupiter, what are they seeing?
It could be anything. It could be
A planet in space? Is that a possibility?
highly doubtful.
Why? Seems like it best explains what the observation says.
It's what the narrative says.
No, but these are things that you can see yourself. I've seen them myself. There's no narrative in what you see with your own eyes.
Yeah, I know that, but it's just the heavens. God's kingdom. That's what it is.
Does God live on Jupiter?
No. But it's
So-
part of this kingdom. And
So
it's
what is
something that
Jupiter?
we not ever understand in this life.
Why is it that the moons of Jupiter go around Jupiter?
Maybe it's a beautiful dance in the heavens by the angels.
They just happen to be shaped like planets?
Like I said, what's it really shaped like? What are you really seeing through that telescope?
You can
I've
see a
never done
sphere. You can see a sphere that's turning.
Earth. Maybe it's just changing.
Then why does it come back to the way that it was after every day or so?
I don't know. I can't really answer that one for you.
Well, if I gave you an explanation, would that be satisfying?
I'll listen to it.
It's a planet. The planet is spinning. The planet has moons. The moons go around the planet.
Something we'll never know.
Except we would, because we've sent probes to it.
Can I ask you one thing?
We've sent probes to it.
Do you believe in the moon landing? Do you believe we went to the moon?
Absolutely.
You really do?
Absolutely. And it's really easy to prove because we can bounce lasers off the moon. And the reason we can do that is because we left mirrors on the moon.
No, I mean the moon's white, has a white surface, right?
So if you point your laser at the wrong
I
spot,
can reflect a mirror off my wall.
if you point the laser at the wrong spot, you won't get much light back. And if you point the laser at the right spot, you get a lot of light back. And we know where that spot is because we left a mirror there.
That's highly doubtful. And very non-convincing.
Well, it doesn't sound like anything would be. It doesn't sound like anything would be convincing because you're pretty set in your ways, eh?
No, not really. My ways have been changing ever changing.
So the only way that you could even possibly be convinced that space is real is to be literally taken to space?
Yes, sir.
Have you been to Australia, my friend?
Have I been what?
To Australia.
No, I haven't. I haven't been out of America.
Right, okay. How do you know that Australia exists?
Well, I guess because there's a lot of history on it. And
yeah.
From it.
But you haven't been there.
I guess it's kind of like believing in God. You just have faith and trust.
So you just have faith that Australia exists?
I have trust that it exists.
Okay. And why? Just because?
Because, like, if one person said, you know, Jesus rose from the grave, I don't think anybody would believe that. But if 100 people said Jesus rose from the grave, I think some people would start believing it.
Okay.
Now, if 100,000 people said Jesus rose from the grave, I think they'd really start, you know, believing it. So what does this have to do with
Australia?
Millions of people saying they live in this place called Australia, I kind of start believing it.
Tens of thousands of people say that they watched the moon landing
Does that make
live.
sense?
Yeah, but sure, I absolutely agree. And we have tens of thousands of people who worked on the moon landing, right? We have hundreds of people who have been to space.
Yeah.
Why isn't that trustworthy?
Why do they say they lost the technology to go back? What is that? The Van Halen radiation belt?
So we can talk about this. It's a reasonable thing to do. So
Hey, I tell you, I used to love
so
space.
tater salad,
really
tater
did.
salad. I'm going to explain. You just brought up why do they say that they lost the technology. So imagine that you built an entire industry around building really cool horse-drawn carriages, right? You live in the early 1900s, let's say. You build an entire industry around building like super fancy horse-drawn carriages. And then, because the car gets invented, or the car starts becoming popular, you go out of business. So you shut down all of your factories. Your factories just, you sell your equipment, you shut down your factories, you fire your engineers, because, you know, your business, you went out of business. So would you say that if somebody then asks you 30 years from then, say in the 1930s, hey, do you still have the technology to, make all of your horse-drawn carriages? Would you say yes?
Yes, I would, because I can still build a wheel. I can still build an axle.
Oh, but you don't have your machines anymore. You don't have your machines. You don't have your engineers. You don't have your facilities. You don't have your blueprints.
I've never built a car in my life, but I can tell you right now, just from growing up in today's age, I can build something from the past that's relatively
So Tater, technology is not ideas. Technology is not ideas. Technology is machines.
Technology is a continuation. Like, we wouldn't be here with today if the people yesterday didn't do what they did.
Tater salad. Technology is not ideas. Tater salad. Technology is not ideas. It's machines, right? And those machines just no longer exist. Now, if you're asking why they no longer exist, it's because the Apollo program was being shut down. They didn't need the machines for that, so they repurposed them.
If all we messed with was planes, like if you went from horse-drawn carriages to planes.
Wait, can you address what I said?
Stand a wheel.
Can you address what I said?
Yeah.
Okay, please address what I said.
You said I was building fancy horse-drawn carriages.
No, you missed everything I just said just now.
What? Oh, just now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about earlier.
So technology is not ideas. Technology is like literally objects, machines, right?
No, technology is not just...
It's machines, it's objects. That's what technology is. Now you can talk about like technological ideas, you can talk about like blueprints for things, but when we say that the technology doesn't exist anymore, what that means is that literally the machines that were used to build the Apollo rockets don't exist anymore. They've been repurposed.
Still got rockets. We still got...
Not the Apollo rockets, that's the important part. Not the Apollo rockets, not the Apollo landers.
That we couldn't replicate today.
We could, but we would have to build up an entire infrastructure to build those things. We don't have that. We don't have that infrastructure in place right now.
Yeah, we do. We got private businesses doing it now.
So what factory exists currently that is capable of building an Apollo landing vehicle, a lunar landing vehicle? What facility is capable of doing that right now?
SpaceX.
SpaceX has never built a lunar landing vehicle. No, they haven't.
Oh, a lunar van. I thought you... My bad.
Also, to be clear, the quote that you're referencing, which is the whole, you know, we don't have the technology anymore, that's from before SpaceX existed.
You know what's crazy though? You know who?
Tell me what's crazy, Tater Salad.
Warner von Braun. Do you know who that is?
I do, but I'm not gonna let you pivot, okay?
What? No. What's on his gravestone?
We can talk about Werner von Braun later, but I'm not gonna let you pivot. The point is, the quote, when they say, oh, the technology's been destroyed or we don't have the technology anymore, what that means is that the factories, the blueprints, the machines, the engineers, that infrastructure is just not in place anymore. You would have to completely rebuild all of that infrastructure if you want to build those things again.
I mean,
I don't understand what's hard to understand about that.
I just don't believe it.
What, so you don't believe what the people said they mean?
You gonna say we can't? Well, I mean, we don't have the facilities. The fucking facility, the group who went to the moon is still a living entity.
Well, a lot of them are dead. A lot of them are dead because it was 60 years ago.
Living fucking infrastructure.
It was no. The infrastructure was dismantled. The infrastructure doesn't exist anymore.
Pull up a movie from the 50s. A movie.
Yeah.
You think if people were so worried about saving that movie throughout the years, you don't think they'd be worried about keeping
they weren't.
alive?
No. They just dismantled the infrastructure. After the program was done, they dismantled the infrastructure and reused the machines, reused the buildings.
So they dismantled NASA.
No, NASA is a bigger organization than the Apollo program, right? NASA changed priorities, so they dismantled the stuff that they had. They repurposed the machines. They repurposed the buildings. They split the groups apart and sent them to work in other programs that were being prioritized. All of that stuff, all of that infrastructure, like the human infrastructure, the technological infrastructure, all of that stuff was dismantled. Why wouldn't it be? Why would they just leave it around? Why would they just leave it around when it was perfectly good?
Separate, complete different thing other than NASA.
Oh, the Apollo missions were a like a subgroup of NASA, right? It wasn't the only thing that NASA was doing.
Yeah, they were also trying to get the biggest green screen owned in the whole world.
Do you have any evidence of that?
Google will tell me.
Sorry, did you say Google will tell me? He minimized the app, by the way. By the way, I don't think he's a troll, for what it's worth. If he is a troll, it's very, very compelling. And he's very committed to the bit. Hey, Tater Salad, by the way, when you're off the app, we can't hear you anymore. So if you're talking, I can't hear anything you're saying.
Okay, yeah, I was talking. I was trying to read it from Google. It gave me a runaround. It said, no one owns the largest green screen in the world, and it started talking about the new technology with LEDs and stuff taking over.
When do you think green screens were invented?
For Hollywood movies.
No, when?
Theatrics.
Oh, cool. They were actually
sorry?
Sorry?
Around the 60s.
So I guess that they first appeared in like in 1940, which is earlier than I kind of would have expected.
Yeah, that's way earlier than I expected too. Hey, you know, virtual reality, the government had that in the 50s.
I don't think that's true.
Yes.
I don't think that's true.
Google it.
It's super off topic. It's super off topic.
I know it is. But it's just
so look, Tater Salad, is it not plausible that when you're when you're a government organization and your priorities switch, that you would reuse the stuff for your old projects for new projects?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
so if that's the case, then that means that you'd have to dismantle the old stuff to reuse it. Tater. So that what that would mean is that you'd have to dismantle the old stuff so you could reuse it for new stuff.
Okay, but you're not gonna. You're building off of that technology you're coming from. So why would you?
No, but you're taking the machines. You're taking the machines. You're dismantling them and using that stuff for other things.
Come on, did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that. My mic is louder than yours.
Why would you forget how to make a horse-drawn carriage?
Nobody forgot. Tater salad.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Tater salad. Tater salad. Nobody forgot. Nobody forgot. If we wanted to, we could get an Apollo program up and running in 15 years.
In 15 years, when I'm probably dead?
Well, you'll be dead in 15 years? Why will you be dead in 15? By the way, the Apollo program, the original Apollo program is, it's super outdated at this point. We have another space program that we're using to get to the moon. It's called the Artemis program. So we currently have the Artemis program, which is that we've already done the first launch from the Artemis program. That was like 1.5 years ago. It did a flyby by the moon with the Orion capsule. It's a thing. We're not using the old 1960s tech because it's from 1960s. Why would we? But we have a space program now. Yeah. If we wanted to reproduce, so tater salad. I wasn't done talking. I was still in the middle of a sentence. If we wanted to reproduce the Apollo program, we could, but it would take some time because we would have to go and we'd have to rebuild all of that infrastructure from the ground up. It just that infrastructure just doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, give me the resources, I could do it in a day.
You think that you could rebuild the Apollo program in a day?
Yeah, and make it look better.
Okay. Why don't you, so you know what you should do? You should go sell that, or you should go pitch that to Elon Musk, because if Elon Musk could make it happen in a day, I'm sure that he'd be, or if you could make it happen in a day for Elon Musk, I'm sure he'd be delighted. Because, he's struggling to make it work. For his Artemis program.
I'm fucking trying to make life work, and it's just a fucking struggle.
So
we all struggling, I guess.
Look, so it seems like the claim that the Apollo, that they lost the technology, it seems like it's just baseless. So I'd be curious what you make of all of the evidence that we have that a moon landing happened. Because, of course, if a moon landing happened, then the Earth can't be flat, right?
I mean, no, that's not true. You just gotta look at the moon for how it really is.
So, wait a minute. Do you think that a moon landing could happen if the Earth was flat?
You think it's like a prototype planet kind of thing?
Wait, do you think that the moon landing could happen if the Earth was flat?
I don't think you can touch the moon.
Okay, so then we need to establish that the moon landing happened. So what do you think all of the moon rocks are?
It didn't happen.
What do you think all of the moon rocks are? Yeah, all of the moon rocks that we brought back.
There ain't no moon rocks.
Then why are there these rocks that allegedly came from the moon that are different from any other rock on Earth?
There's rocks everywhere.
There are rocks everywhere, but these rocks are different from all of the other rocks on Earth.
No, they're not.
Oh.
That's what I'm telling you.
Wait, how do you know that they're not? Have you checked?
Have you checked? Have you ever held them?
I've looked at the scientific reports.
Yeah, scientific reports from who? People that
scientists in hundreds of countries, like 100 countries. You know that scientists outside of the United States have tested these things, right?
Okay, and I don't know. I never tested them. I never even met these motherfuckers.
That's okay. Do you think the scientists are lying?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you think all of the scientists in the world are lying about the shape of the Earth too?
No, I mean the shape of the Earth.
Uh-huh.
There's plenty of people that tell you it's not fucking.
Can you find me one scientist who tells me who will say that the Earth is not flat, or that the Earth is flat? I'm sorry. One scientist.
Dude, I'm a fucking scientist.
You are? Where'd you get your degree?
I don't need a degree. I go by the scientific rules.
What's the scientific method, Tater Salad?
I can't tell you off the top of my head, especially when
A scientist, but you can't tell me the scientific method? Tater Salad, are you sure you're not lying to me?
No, I'm not lying to you.
Are you sure? You know lying's a sin, Tater Salad.
Sorry, you're cutting out there.
Tater Salad, you know lying's a sin.
Hmm? Hey,
Tater salad.
Can I bring it back to what I asked earlier?
In a minute, we absolutely can. I just want to find out what kind of science you do, my guy. Mr. Scientist, Dr. Tater Salad, I think it's on your end.
It's probably the government honing in on me. I'm probably on a watch list now.
It probably is the government honing in on you. You're right. The scientist, Dr. Tater Salad, is being suppressed by the government because he's proving that the Earth is flat. Is that right?
Well, I'm not proving anything. I'm just trying to ask you to
We
have
grant
faith.
that. So, tell me, Dr. Tater Salad, what science do you do?
What science do I do?
Yeah.
That's a funny question.
Well, I mean, you did say you were a scientist, right?
I do all kinds of science. I fucking
give me an example.
Look for practical, physical proof of something. You know, if I can get sand and do this and that, it turns to glass. Like,
so you can get sand, do this and that, it turns to glass. That's the science you do?
Yeah. And then I can strip down plant fibers, grind them and mulch them up.
Is this where's
the paper?
Where's the science here?
That's science. What else?
Science is
like
grinding up. Science is grinding up plants to make paper. That's science.
Yes.
Oh. Well, I should probably inform the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences because they got it all wrong. They think that science involves rigorous scientific testing, experimentation, observation, data collection, analysis. But
yeah,
I guess they have it all wrong.
That's word for word. Just like making glass, like making paper.
Making glass, making paper, these are... So what experiments do you run? What observations do you make? What analysis do you do?
I mean, I ain't trying to find no new science, but science is all around.
So it sounds like you're not doing science.
Dude, we are as a whole as a people, so yeah. There's fucking
we are as
science.
I thought you said that you were a scientist.
I am. We're all fucking scientists. Look what we're doing. We're arguing over
That doesn't make you a scientist.
Does it not? Okay.
No.
I think it does. Because I could do
I mean, a
all this
scientist, so would you say that, like, oh, we're all interested in our own personal health, does that make us all doctors?
Yeah.
Tater Salad.
You're crazy, ain't you?
You're telling me that you think that we're all doctors?
Yeah.
Would you trust me to operate on you?
You'd probably be the only one offering to help. Nobody else would operate on me, I promise you that.
So you would trust me to operate on you?
Hey, if I needed it. What's the worst? I'm fucking shitting my pants and fucking dying?
Well, no, I mean, the alternative is you go to a hospital and you have doctors operate on you.
Dude, they won't. Doctors don't treat me like that.
Doctors legally have to.
Well, they legally don't.
You should sue them.
You don't think I tried?
No, I don't think you tried. I think you're making it up.
Oh, you think I'm making it up? Well,
Yeah.
it's the truth.
I don't think
Just
it's true
kinda-
that doctors don't treat you.
Yeah. I can't feel my arms, my shoulders, my fingertips, and none. And that's because the doctor
When was the last time you went to a doctor?
August 28th.
So like a month and a half ago-ish, or like just over a month ago.
Yeah.
And what happened?
I jumped out of a truck.
No, I mean, what happened when you went to the doctor?
Oh. They gave me some IVs. They gave me morphine.
Sounds like they were treating you. That's what it sounds like.
I'm still. You didn't let me finish the story.
Go ahead.
They gave me, 2 IVs, morphine, and they gave me X-rays of my arms and shoulders. I had a busted head because I jumped out of the truck. Big old fucking gash in the back of my head. And they gave me X-rays of my arms and shoulders because that's where I'm hurting. Oh, they come back, say nothing's broken. Why am I in pain? They gave me morphine. They gave me this. They gave me that.
When did you start believing in the flat Earth?
I guess since I was a kid, because I started going to church when I was 11 years old. That was all.
Okay, so what you're telling me is this didn't start after you jumped out of the truck?
No.
Okay, just checking.
You're
So
good.
they checked your head out. They
No,
checked
they
your head
didn't.
out.
No, they didn't check.
Oh,
my
they
head
didn't
out.
check your head out.
He
But
said
they.
I'm on drugs, and he wanted a piss test. And I'm like, I done told you what drugs I did. I smoked a little bit of meth.
So why didn't you do
I
a
probably
urine
say all
test?
that on TikTok, but
No, you
what?
can't. Why didn't you do a urine test?
I was going to. I asked
And
for some
then?
water. I asked for some water so I could pee.
Uh-huh.
And they said, no, if you can't pee, I'm going to stick this catheter that he's getting ready. He said, I'm going to stick this catheter in there and fish some out. And I started getting scared, honestly. I was like, this dude's just wanting to cause me pain. He's mad because I'm over here making noise and pain. And they're like, oh, we gave you this, we gave you that, and there's nothing wrong with you. And they ain't even gave me a CAT scan or nothing. But they did charge me for one.
So it sounds like they actually did treat you. It sounds like they didn't treat you. I mean, maybe they didn't treat you well,
No.
but they definitely did treat you.
No.
They
I
admitted you, they
called
x-rayed
911
you, they gave you IVs.
I called 911 on him because he said he was gonna stick that catheter in me. And I was like, can I have my phone? And they're like, yeah, here it is. Fucking hear me, barely can move my arms, can't feel them.
Mm-hmm.
I get it unlocked. I don't even unlock it. I just hit the emergency call button. And they answered like,
So
911,
wait, just to be clear, Tater Salad, the reason why they didn't treat you is because you called the cops on them.
Well, they're trying to hurt me. He's trying to stick a catheter in my fucking thing. And
Catheters aren't gonna hurt you.
Yeah, they do.
Like, they're not pleasant going in, I'll grant you that, but it's not gonna cause you injury.
They can make it hurt if they want to.
Tater Salad.
Hey, what? I'm just
Tater
telling you my
salad.
story, dude.
I understand. My point is, it sounds like you trusted the doctors who stuck the IV in you, or the nurses who stuck the IV in you, to treat you. Would you trust some random person to stick an IV in you?
Yeah.
Why? What?
Like, say it's like fucking zombie apocalypse and fucking.
No, just it's a normal day.
It's a normal day, then why do I need an IV?
Because, I don't know, you fell out of your truck.
Well, I do it every time I go to the doctor. I donate plasma. I do it every time. I trust some stranger to fucking hit me with the fucking.
So, Tater Salad.
I could probably get a job doing that if I really wanted to, but no.
Tater Salad. The point is we generally trust people who have studied the thing to do the thing. So, like, I'll generally trust, like, a heart doctor to, operate on my heart, and I wouldn't trust a car mechanic to operate on my heart. And similarly, I would trust a scientist to do the science, not like some random Joe Schmo on the street, right?
I don't know. It depends if I need it or not, and if we got the resources.
Tater Salad. Tater Salad. You said you had a question that you wanted to ask.
Oh, Warner von Braun. What's on his grave?
one of the Psalms that says something about a firmament.
Yeah.
So, Tater Salad, quick question.
Who
do
is
people?
Werner von Braun?
Well, I'll answer that in a second. Just a quick question about that. Who decides what goes on somebody's gravestone?
I don't know. I guess your last wishes and you're trusting somebody.
Well, it was his wife. It was his wife, actually.
Okay, so yeah.
Because he was dead.
Yeah, I know. You got to trust somebody with your last wishes, man. You got to hope that's held up.
Well, so it's not clear that they were his last wishes.
Okay, well.
Right. So it seems like it's kind of irrelevant. But yeah, Werner von Braun was Werner von Braun was a German Yahtzee scientist that was brought over after World War II to develop the Apollo program.
What'd you say?
I was just answering your question about Werner von Braun. He was a Yahtzee scientist who was brought over after World War II to develop the Apollo program.
The length of a bus to the road to school.
Tater Salad, please don't read the chat. You and I are talking. Because you and I are talking. It's disrespectful to ignore me and then read the chat instead.
I'm sorry. I'll stop reading the chat.
I appreciate it. So Tater Salad, the point is he was a Yahtzee scientist who helped start the Apollo program. Now, he also was religious. He was a Christian. And, you know, he thought that the sky was a beautiful thing.
To be on his grave, right?
Sorry?
That would make sense for a Bible verse to be on his grave.
It absolutely would. He was a Christian. I imagine his wife was probably a Christian. Now, so Tater Salad, you know he was a German, right?
Yeah, he was a Nazi.
Right. Yeah, but his first language was German. So Tater Salad, did you know that in the German version of the Bible, that psalm doesn't say firmament?
What does it say?
It says heavens.
Okay, yeah. What's the difference?
Well, the heavens
Do you think
is
God
the sky.
with us? No, he does
The
not.
firmament, as flat earthers understand it, is like a barrier, right? But he's German, and the German version doesn't say firmament. It says something equivalent to heavens.
Okay, so the heaven is the barrier.
No, but the heavens isn't a barrier. The heavens is just another word for the sky.
This just reminds me of the Tower of Babel, really.
So is your claim, because a German Nazi scientist had a psalm on his gravestone, that means that space isn't real? Is that your view?
Your space is heaven, and you think you can get there.
Do you think that God lives in space?
He lives in the heavens, yes.
Okay, so what happens? So let's say that you build a ladder, right? Like kind of like the Babel people did.
Yeah.
What happens? Let's say you build a ladder. What happens if the ladder gets high enough?
It's gonna be like the same thing with my life. Like when I turn my back on God because I think I can handle it all myself now.
No, I mean, like, does it bump into the glass dome?
You ain't gonna get there.
What's gonna happen?
On a ladder, you might get like.
Or let's say you build a really tall building.
Yeah. It's gonna disappear with the rest of history who tried to do that.
I don't see how that answers my question. Look, if you build a really tall building, is there like a solid glass barrier that you'd run into?
Yeah, go hop in a rocket. You ain't gonna get there.
Where's the evidence of that?
I guess you just gotta try it yourself.
Okay, so you don't have any evidence for that claim?
Yeah, my faith.
Is faith evidence?
To me, it is. And
okay.
other believers, it is.
Are you familiar with the live streams that we have of rocket launches?
Okay, are you familiar with me seeing anything on this phone?
Well, live streams are live. Pretty hard to fake a live stream.
On the phone? Okay, yeah, whatever.
Pretty hard to fake a live stream, right?
No, it's not.
It's not hard to fake a live stream.
No.
It's pretty hard to fake a live stream when people are also watching it happen in real life.
Okay.
You know you can go watch a rocket launch, right? And those rocket launches also live stream their takeoffs, right?
Where they're going? Are you there with them? No.
You can they live stream the launch
They're
from the
taking
rocket.
that rocket, going to Epstein Island, fucking being them fucking nasty, wicked motherfuckers in line.
Is that what's happening? Is that where the rockets are going?
Dude. Yeah.
So, you know what? Tater salad, it totally checks out why Trump is dumping so much money into SpaceX and into the exploratory arm of NASA then. Because of course he wants to send a rocket to Epstein Island.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's just really a bummer because
Why is it a bummer?
it's a bummer because, you know, I don't like when my politicians like to hang out with P3DOs.
No, I don't either. And they all do. Both sides.
I'm sure.
It's two sides of the same coin.
Except the scientists aren't politicians, right? So why would they lie to you?
Because they're wicked. They're evil.
The scientists are wicked.
Yeah.
The scientists are wicked? Why are the scientists wicked? The scientists are normal people. They're like you and me. They're like you and me, my guy.
Dude, no, they're not. Ain't nobody like me, I promise you that.
Nobody's like, you know what, I might grant that. I might absolutely grant that nobody's like you. Tater salad, anything else you want to talk about before we move on to the next guest?
I guess just I hope you see the truth and you find God, or hope God finds you. I'm praying for you, brother. And I hope you see the ways of the world, and I hope you don't go into that mess.
All right, Tater salad, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
All right, y'all, that's how you say free content, if you will. But more seriously, before we move on to the next guest, and we have plenty to get to, two things I have to say. First, I want to read some super chats. So we have from Double Down with the $5. Look how Blitz, he's a plantologist. That's true. Nobody on Fire with the $2 says, I am nothing like this guy, WTF. Yeah, I would agree with that. From Stinky Ethian with the $5, please stop calling me Stinky. No, I'm sorry, that's your name. From Jesus Fulfilled No Prophecies with the $2, thank you so much, Jesus. Guy personifies his gut feelings and calls him God. Yeah, that's probably what's happening. Fears Interaction with the $5 sends, I always enjoy MAGA and FLERF days, aka Pose Podcast. I don't know what that means. I'll have to think about that. The listener sends 40. I think that those are Indian rupees. Saying nice glasses. Well, thank you. I appreciate the nice glasses. A Game Master Flash with the $10 says, you can see one of the first VR headsets developed in 1985 by Jim Humphreys and Mike McGreevy at the NASA Ames Research Center. We didn't have VR in the 50s. Yeah, that seems plausible. I mean, like, look, research level science can often develop some things that are like ahead of their time. They just don't get commercialized for a while because it's hard to do. eFont sends $2 saying rocket ride $1 for Epstein Island ticket. That was a wild claim. By the way, before we get started, before we move on to our next guest, I just want to post, I have a clip channel now, a clip channel where I'm going to be posting debunking content. I'm going to be posting clips from the debates like this, like that debate that just happened. It's going to be going up on there. So if you guys want to see the clips, if you want to see the clip stuff solely, then make sure to go subscribe to my new YouTube channel. It's not the main YouTube channel. The new YouTube channel is called Dr. Blitz Debunks. If you want to see it on TikTok, if you want to get to a link on TikTok, go to the link tree in my bio, scroll down. It's somewhere in the link tree. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is what you need in order to monetize, and I really want to start monetizing this channel so I can have a backup plan in case TikTok stops monetizing after the purchase. So make sure to go subscribe. We are 125 away from getting to 1,000 subscribers, which is what we need. Anyway, let's move on to the next guest. Let's bring on X. All right, X is not joining. Let's bring on Logan. All right, Logan didn't come up. Let's bring on Kobe. Kobe, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Not a whole lot. How you doing? Your audio's fine.
Doing good.
Great. What shape do you think the Earth is?
I think the Earth is flat or hollow.
Well, it can't be both, right?
Yeah, it can't be both. That's
So which
correct.
one is it?
Hollow.
It's hollow. You think it's hollow? Are we on
Yeah.
the outside or on the inside?
We're on the outside.
Okay, what's on the inside?
A parallel world.
So there's people living on the inside of the Earth? Are they like sticking to the like upside down?
No. It wouldn't work like that. There's another sun.
There's another sun. Where's the other sun?
The other sun is out of our sight.
Wait a minute. Is it inside the hollow Earth?
Yes.
So how's it? So it's just below us.
Yes.
Okay. And what's stopping the Earth that we're standing on from falling down onto the Earth below the hollow Earth?
Electromagnetics.
Electromagnetics are keeping the Earth up from and gravity. We believe in gravity?
Not gravity.
Not gravity. Okay, electromagnetics. How is electromagnetics keeping the hollow Earth from falling onto the inner Earth? Does the inner Earth have its own hollow Earth inside of it?
I'm not sure about that, to be honest.
Okay.
Maybe so.
So the hollow Earth, the one that we're standing on, is hollow, and then there's another Earth inside of it. And what's keeping our Earth from falling down onto their Earth is electromagnetics. How does that work?
So at the North Pole, there's
the North Pole of the hollow Earth?
The North Pole, yes.
And it's like a globe shape, just hollow.
No, it's not a globe shape. It is a circle.
Wait, but then how is it hollow?
Ice wall.
How is it hollow?
Well, how else would it be hollow? There's entrances, stargates.
So it's just like caves underneath the flat Earth?
Well, there's caves and there's portals too.
Wait, so the Earth, so you think the Earth is flat and like a disc, something like that. And then there's like another Earth below the disc?
Yeah.
And that Earth is being kept away from our Earth by electrostatics.
Yep.
And how does that work?
Like, what do you mean? Like what?
Like what? Like what part of electrostatics is doing that? How does that work? What forces are involved?
It's kind of hard to explain because I don't necessarily understand it all the way. But this is like in opposition to the globe Earth. So this is
so like the Earth below the Earth were being held up. I thought electrostatics was what makes things fall. Why would that hold something up? Why would that hold something up?
Well, I don't think it necessarily makes things fall because.
So then why do things fall?
Well, it's because of the charge of it. It can also make things float. So it's not just that.
So wait a minute. The charge of what? The falling thing?
What? I'm sorry.
When I drop this pen, why does it fall?
Well, the electromagnetics of it doesn't change.
I don't understand. What is causing the pen to move downward?
The magnetism of the pen.
But the pen's not magnetic, it's plastic.
The electrostatic.
But it's not charged either. If it were charged, I could just go touch it to a ground and it would just ground out, right? I could just touch it to a piece of metal and now it's not charged anymore. So what's making it fall? It's not magnetic, it's not charged. So why is it falling?
That's what we call gravity, but I don't think we have a understanding of it.
Why not?
Why not? What do you mean, why not?
Why do you think that we don't have an understanding of it?
Is there a quantum theory of gravity?
I think that that's above your pay grade.
There's not.
Okay, can you define quantum theory of gravity for me, please?
I would if there was one, but there isn't.
No, can you just define what you're asking for? What you would want to exist?
Well, you know how there's physics and then there's a quantum physics? I would want the quantum version of gravity.
Okay. Why?
Well, because it can't explain things on a level of understanding that we have brought physics to. So why would we not have it?
So we don't Why would we need a quantum theory of gravity to explain why the pen falls? The pen isn't quantum. The pen is normal size.
Because it would be absolute in our understanding of why it falls. We can say that gravity is the reason it falls, but we don't completely understand it. So there also could be other factors in play.
So you're telling me that you think that because we don't have a quantum theory of gravity, we don't understand why this pen falls, and that once we do, we will understand how the pen falls?
Well, we might not necessarily ever get a quantum theory of gravity.
How would the quantum theory of gravity give us a different answer if it existed? How would it give us a different answer from the regular non-quantum theory of gravity?
Because our understanding in gravity would increase, so therefore we would probably have other factors in the pens falling, like.
So when you talk about electrostatics, are you referring to, what kind of theory are you referring to?
What?
Are you referring to classical electromagnetism?
Yeah, I guess so, or electrostatics.
But then why are you appealing to classical electromagnetism or electrostatics to explain why something happens, but I can't appeal to classical theories of gravity?
Well, you can, but we have a different understanding, so this is where we have to take into account of like probability of error, you know?
Yeah, so what's the probability that you're wrong here?
I don't think it's high.
How much do you know about the quantization of electromagnetism?
Not much.
So then why do you think that you're more likely to be correct than somebody who does?
Well, not necessarily because that someone would know it more than me or not, but it's just kind of like intuitive thought for me.
What part is intuitive about quantum electrodynamics?
That it pretty much disproves the globe Earth, and that.
Can you tell me what quantum electrodynamics is?
Huh?
Can you tell me what quantum electrodynamics is? It's so intuitive, you should be able to tell me what it is, right?
No, it's not necessarily that I have to understand how it works and what it is necessarily.
You should just tell me what it is.
Well, if you know what it is, then why are you making it a point to prove me that?
Because you don't. You don't know what it is.
I don't have to know what you know.
You don't even have a conceptual understanding of what it could be, and yet you're appealing to it. And then when I appeal to gravity, and I'm just talking about why things fall, you're saying, oh well, we don't have a quantum. We don't fully understand how quantum gravity works. Therefore, you don't have any understanding of, why the thing falls. But look, I actually know more about quantum gravity than you know about electromagnetism. So it seems like I'm actually better equipped to explain why this pen falls and rely on quantum gravity than you are to rely on classical electromagnetism.
Okay, so tell me about quantum gravity.
Yeah, so quantum gravity is, it depends on which way you're viewing it, but we have effective field theories that describe gravitons as propagating through a flat spacetime that can be caused to exist by things moving in ways that are non-trivial. You can write down a quantum or an effective quantum field theory for gravity, invoke gravitons, all of these things, it's totally consistent, no issues.
So would you say that you agree with physics' understanding of the universe?
Yes. Would you agree that you don't?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, great.
Because, well, this is completely a different point now, instead of gravity and, electrostatics. But if you were at the Great Lakes, right, and you can see the skyline 50 miles across, that shouldn't be possible on a spherical Earth.
Why not?
Because at the rate you see things.
Actually, sorry to cut you off, Kobe. Just one sec. I just want to make it clear that we're pivoting away from this not having an explanation under electromagnetism, but it is explained gravitationally. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that we are currently pivoting away from that concept because it seems like you don't want to talk about it anymore. Is that true?
Yeah, we can stop talking about that.
Okay, go ahead. We can talk about the lakes if you want.
Okay, so why is it that you can see across a 50-mile distance at
Go
towers
ahead.
that are certain feet tall that shouldn't be seen if you were to take into account for the Earth's curvature?
So the reason why you can see the towers that are, you're talking about the Chicago city skyline, right?
Yeah.
The reason why you can see the towers is because the towers are tall.
No, the Earth's curvature would not allow you to see that.
Why not? Have you done the math?
No, I haven't done the math, but someone has.
I have.
Someone has
And
done
you'd be
the
able to
math
see
as
it.
well. Somebody has done the math as well, and it
What math did they do?
They accounted for the Earth's curvature, the distance.
How do you
And then
compute
the
how
viewer
far away?
height.
How do you compute how far away you can see a tall building?
Why are you asking me? How do you compute? How
I'm
far?
asking you. Do you know how to do the math?
No, I didn't do the math.
Okay,
but
so how do you know that their math is right?
Because it's multiple people. It's not just one
who?
person doing math. And
Who?
well, I could send you the video if you want, but I don't
A
think-
video of somebody doing math, or a video of somebody seeing the Chicago city skyline?
yeah, a video of the.
Oh, I was asking
explanation.
about the math though.
Yeah, the explanation and the math are in the video.
So can I show you something?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna pull something up really quick. I want to make sure that this is the right browser. Okay, wait, why does that say browse? No, okay. So let's go to the advanced curvature calculator. This is a pretty good calculator, actually. And then let's connect this to, here we go. We're gonna go to the advanced curvature calculator, right? So what we're going to do, sorry, I just have to resize this. What we're going to do is we're going to scroll down. We're going to put in, I don't know, 50 kilometers, right? We're gonna put in, how tall is Sears Tower? Anybody know? Or the Chrysler Building or whatever. It's 1,451 feet, which is 442 meters. We're gonna punch in, oh, look at that. What's that? You can see Sears Tower from 50 kilometers away from the shore. Not only can you see it, you can see more than half of it.
Yeah, but you could see the bottom of it.
How do you know you could see the bottom of it?
And it's actually
I've seen the
50
pictures.
miles away, not 50.
Okay, let's make it 100,000 kilometers. Okay, so 100,000 kilometers, it's slightly hidden. Let's add some standard atmospheric refraction. And then let's see how far away does it?
Refraction doesn't even help.
Refraction does help. Let's see how far away, 442 meters. Let's see how far away it peaks out. So you can be 84 kilometers away and you'll still see the tippy top of the Sears Tower, right?
Yeah.
So
Supposedly.
where's the issue? It seems
The
like
issue is you can
that's pretty
see
far.
the bottom of the tower.
How do you know you can see the bottom?
Because there's videos of people recording.
I've seen the videos. You can never see the bottom. If you could see the bottom, then you'd be able to see all of the shorter buildings too, but you can't see the shorter buildings.
You can. You can see almost a whole city.
Let's pull this up. From across Lake Michigan, right? That's what we're talking about?
Yep. I can send you the video at any point in time.
Here is an image, just a photograph of the Chicago city skyline from across Lake Michigan. You're telling me you're seeing the whole city here? These are all the buildings in Chicago?
You can see a lot.
You can see like maybe 10 buildings here. Like maybe.
Well,
and if you can, and do you know how many buildings there are in Chicago?
You wouldn't be able to see any of that, according to your calculator.
So
even with refraction included,
there are 137 skyscrapers in Chicago. Why can I only see like 10?
I don't know what you mean.
In that photo that I just showed you, why can you only see like 10?
So do you just want to pick out certain photos and not other ones?
It was just, I just Googled the first random photo that I could find on the Chicago city skyline. We can go pull up more and you won't be able to see more than that.
You will be able to. The observer height also matters too.
The observer height does matter. Yeah, you're right. How high was the observer where you could see the entirety of the Sears Tower?
6 feet.
Oh, okay. So the observer height. So that's essentially the lowest you could go, right? Like, I mean, you know, it's not really the lowest you can go, but it's effectively the lowest you can go. And so the photo that I showed you would be 6 feet or higher, and yet you can only see, like, you know, maybe a dozen buildings. So what
kind of
gives?
proves you wrong, though.
How does it prove me wrong? It means that most of the buildings are being hidden.
Well, you said that you would be able to see how much on the calculator, and
it depends on how far away you are.
See a lot more than that.
So by the way, and this is just something that you should probably learn to accept. So the famous video, the famous video done by a flat earther who made the claim, oh yeah, I'm 63 whatever. People have actually analyzed the video and pinpointed where he was, and it turns out he was much, much closer. He was at, I think they're called Evans Dunes, and Evans Dunes are like 50.
Well, there's
like 50 kilometers away or so.
Flat earthers saying that I'm here.
That's the famous one that you'll find. He was like 50 or 60 kilometers away, and so generally, I would be very hard pressed. I'd kind of not Indiana Dunes. Thank you. I'd kind of not believe you if somebody said that they were like 100 kilometers away and they saw the Sears Tower. They would need to provide proof of that, honestly, that they were actually that far away.
So if someone could show you that, though, you would.
Yeah, that'd be pretty remarkable. If they could do it multiple days in a row, that'd be remarkable.
That's all I ask. Okay,
now, so here's a question for you. What do you make of the observation of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica?
What do I make of that?
Yeah.
So the Earth or the sun is on a fixed path.
Yeah. So why can you see it for 24 hours in Antarctica?
Because it rotates around Polaris.
So why can you see it for 24 hours in Antarctica?
No,
during the Antarctic summer.
Are you talking about the North Pole? Are you
sure? No, the South Pole.
Antarctica?
The South Pole.
There's no South Pole, though.
Well, I mean, agree to disagree, I guess. But you can go to Antarctica, which is the furthest south that you can go, and you can see the sun overhead for 24 hours. How does that work? In fact, it circles around you, which is very confusing because that means that somehow it must be south of you at some point during the day. How does the sun get south of Antarctica if the sun is in a fixed path above the flat Earth?
I'm not sure about this argument about the sun being in Antarctica 24/7. I would have to go there
during
and see
the
that for
Antarctic.
myself.
So fortunately, a fairly an independently wealthy former pastor, I think he's a current pastor. He sent 4 flat earthers to Antarctica on his own dime, and they saw the 24-hour sun. And in fact, one of them, Jeranism, is no longer. He was like a huge flat earther. He had one of the largest flat Earth YouTube channels. He had been a flat earther for 10 years. He's no longer a flat earther because of it, because he saw the 24-hour sun for in Antarctica.
Okay, that's a good thing to investigate.
It is, it was live streamed, and there's like time lapses and stuff, and they were answering questions from chat, and they had like GPS trackers and all this stuff on. If you're interested, if you want to hear about this, if you want to go learn more about it, look up The Final Experiment.
Okay, I'll look into that. But let's say we flew a plane, and we're going east to west, right?
Yep.
According to the globe Earth, you should see the stars moving rapidly in one direction, or if you're going the other direction, they should be moving a little bit slower because the Earth is spinning, going 1,000 miles per hour.
So,
right?
So generally, it depends on what latitude you're at, of course. But yeah, I mean, like if you're flying east, your night will advance more rapidly, and if you're flying west, your night will advance more slowly. Yeah.
So there was a 14-hour plane flight that was done just flying east to west and then west to east.
Where?
And they recorded the video of the stars, and the stars do not move at all. And then on the way back, they do not move either.
So I don't know about you, but like I've never actually been able to see the stars from inside of a plane. Like even when I'm doing transatlantic stuff. So where can I see this?
I'll send you the video. Can I DM you?
I won't be able to open it on live stream if you DM it to me. Is it on YouTube?
Let me see if I can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, the thing about opening the so typically the windows are not very big, so you can't really look up. And then also the plane produces a lot of its own light, so it kind of washes out like your ability to see these things. So that's why I haven't seen them on a plane. I've done a lot of international flights, a lot of long distance east-west flights, and I've never seen the stars.
Yeah, they just had a camera that was meant for recording this.
Yeah.
stars.
So have you found it yet?
No, I haven't found it. I have a video on TikTok, but I don't think
I can pull up the TikTok. I might be able to pull up the TikTok video on no, I would have to sign. Well, no, I can't. So look, when you say the stars weren't moving, what does that mean? Does that mean that like which stars weren't moving? Was this Polaris not moving, or was this like were they? Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's think about this. Let's think about this. Which side of the plane were they on?
Which side of the plane?
Yep.
Like the camera?
Yeah.
I
think the left side or on the right side?
The camera was just pointed straight. I don't even think it was inside the plane, to be honest.
The camera wasn't even inside the plane? It was pointed in front of the plane.
Yeah.
So so how did they get the camera on the front of the plane?
Or maybe in the cockpit of the plane.
How did they get the camera into the cockpit?
Well, this is not like a civilian recording 14 hours straight. This is like
wait, who I'm sorry, I thought that this was like a flat earther thing. So like where is this photo? Who took this video?
Well, it is a civilian, but not like
who
your
took
average
this video?
Passenger of a flight, you know? Like I said,
who took this video? Where was the flight from? Where was it to?
I want to give it to you, but I really cannot right now. Since I'm in this live and I can't DM you. It's literally saved on my TikTok, but
let me try something. What's your account name?
Kobe Samurai. Shit, I don't even know. Kobe.
That's not helpful. I need to find your account name.
Cloudy Kobe.
Cloudy.
Loudi and then Kobe.
Okay. Kloudi. Is there a space?
No space.
Okay. Let's see if we can find it. I think I found it. Wait, no, I don't think I did. Do you have 522 followers?
That might be a different account. Try Kobe Lynch. That's what the chat's saying.
How do you spell it?
Kobe.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Weird name. Really sus. You said you favorited it?
Yeah, it's in my favorites.
I can't see your favorites. I can see your reposts, but I can't see your favorites.
Should I repost it?
You'd have to leave the debate stream. It's fine. So yeah, I mean, like, look, if you can prove that like this was indeed a flight flying from east to west, say, and indeed the stars were stationary, then that would be pretty compelling evidence.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll send that to you, and I'll also send you some stuff on the Great Lakes. People are smarter than me, and I watch them. I'm not necessarily...
So how many flat earthers do you think went to college? Like the top flat earthers, like Austin Whitsitt, like who are these other guys? Nathan Thompson. How many of these people do you think went to college?
I'd say not a lot, not majority.
Most of them didn't.
Yeah.
Most of them struggled in high school. So like why would you assume that they're like smart?
Well, not necessarily that they're smart in terms of like the way we view them in society, but you know, they did their own research, or they, you know, like they've done their own experiments, and they can know what math is prevalent to bring up and what to disprove and all that.
So
me necessarily,
I
like,
would be skeptical of somebody claiming that they know math if they didn't go to college, right?
Yeah, we can agree on that.
So I don't know. Like, generally speaking, I wouldn't trust flat earthers to be able to be intellectually rigorous about this investigations that they're doing. Now, on the other hand, you can just go talk to like so many scientists, geophysicists. These are people who study seismic waves. You can talk to astrophysicists. These are people who study the stars. You can talk to geologists. You can talk to, I guess, anybody who studies the atmosphere, so atmospheric scientists. These are people who spent their whole lives studying this thing, and they literally have done their own research, not just like watched a YouTube video or like, you know, read a blog post. They actually published their research, and they will tell you that the Earth is a sphere.
Mm-hmm.
So like, why would you trust the college dropouts who read a blog and use ChatGPT rather than like the actual accomplished scientists?
So my thing is, it's a level of indoctrination, and it's not that these people aren't smart, but it's just they believe what they're told, so they take that and they run with it, and they use their math.
Is it possible that that's what's happening to you?
Yeah, it's possible it's happening to me. It's possible it's happening to anyone.
Okay. What's more likely? That somebody who, that you know, 100,000, 1 million scientists have all been indoctrinated to believe in the fake globe model, even though their own science could prove it wrong in an instant, or you got swindled by some flat earth TikTokers? What's more likely?
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm more likely to be fooled than, you know, people
Than
that...
a million scientists?
Well, I don't think there's a million, first of all.
I mean, there's a lot. How many scientists are there in the world? 8.8 million as of 2018.
So do you think before we switched to a heliocentric model, the scientists in that age all believed in a flat earth?
No, science didn't really exist prior to like the 15 or 1600s, but the educated class for the last 2,000 years has known the Earth as a globe.
Okay, so for the education part, like this goes based
Sorry,
off...
I shouldn't say educated class because there wasn't formal education. The wealthy class, like the people who had the time to go study, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not like, because, you know, if you were working a farm or if you were like just working a field for your your king or whatever, your lord, then you probably weren't thinking about the shape of the Earth anyway.
Right.
But like the people who had time to like sit down and read books and run experiments and make observations and travel, these people all knew that the Earth was a globe for the last 2,000 years.
Mm. Can I ask you, so how do globers like disprove flat Earth when things get like sticky and they start talking about Polaris? Like,
What about Polaris?
What is the explanation of why it doesn't?
Of why
ever
Polaris doesn't move? Well, Polaris does move a little bit. But the reason why it doesn't move very much is because our Earth rotates around an axis, and Polaris is in line with that axis. So you wouldn't expect it to move. Yeah. Everything else that's not in line with the axis, if you rotate, it'll appear to move. But if you're rotating about an axis and something is in line with that axis, it won't move. In fact, I have a better question for you. Why is it that as you get further and further away from the North Pole, for every 69 miles you move away from the North Pole, Polaris gets 1 degree lower? Why does that happen?
It gets 1 degree lower.
1 degree
and how
lower.
do you measure that?
Just with you could use a protractor if you wanted to.
Interesting.
I mean, the technical thing you would use is like a sextant, but yeah, 1 degree lower every 69 miles. In fact, do you own a car?
Yeah.
Do you have a spare weekend?
To drive 69 miles south?
Well, you might want to do, like 1 degree is not very much, so maybe you would want to drive like a few hundred miles, but just like get in your car and drive a few hundred miles. You know, it's take an evening, take a night, or like just drive. And, you know, every 50 miles or so, you know, you'll need some equipment to do this, so you can actually measure where the star is. But just measure where the star is and see how its angle changes over the course of a night.
Interesting. I'm not too convinced on that explanation. Like the axis, the whole axis thing is just.
Well, so I mean, like, do you want me to draw you a diagram?
No, I understand. Like I have a mental image of like what you're explaining, but I just can't believe it. Like I wouldn't say I'm indoctrinated to believe in flat Earth, but it's kind of silly to believe the Earth is a globe.
It's silly to believe the Earth is a globe when literally all of the scientific evidence we have agrees with the globe.
Well, all the scientific evidence is funded by the same people
but
who
that's
don't want
look, you're doing the indoctrination thing, Kobe. The point is that I say, look, we have all of this scientific evidence, and you're like, but that's all fake and indoctrinated, and you know, it's being funded by NASA. Like, that's the indoctrination.
Well, no,
just look at the evidence.
I don't say that, because when I use the evidence against you, then you go back to referring more evidence. When one
Sorry, what scientific evidence did you use against me?
The curve of the Earth.
Which scientific evidence did you use against me?
The curve of the Earth and the Great Lakes.
What's
you shouldn't be able to see buildings.
We agreed. So to be clear, a flat earther.
We agreed that you shouldn't be able to see those buildings.
A flat earther making a TikTok video is not scientific evidence, right?
Well, this is practical. You can go to the Great Lakes. And you can see
so I asked. So I said all of the scientific evidence agrees with me, right?
Yeah.
And then you brought up like a TikTok video that a flat earther made, or that a few flat earthers made.
But all
and that's the response to like all of the scientific look. Here's a question, Kobe. Why can't you see the North Star from the southern hemisphere?
Well, you can.
No, you can't.
Polaris. You can't see Polaris.
You can't see Polaris from the southern hemisphere.
I don't know about that one.
I've been to the southern hemisphere. You can't see it.
That'll have to be something I research and explain. But
why do sunsets happen? Why does the sun go down and not just get smaller?
Well, what?
When you see a sunset, the sun just goes down, right? It doesn't just get smaller and further away. It goes down. Mm-hmm. Why does the sun go down?
It actually does change in size, though.
A tiny bit. Depends on the atmospheric conditions, of course. But like, why? Like, it very clearly goes down, right? It's not just getting further away.
Yeah, it's going out of your view, but it's also getting
if it was
smaller.
going out of your view, it would be doing this, right? It would be getting smaller. See, if like even when I just double the size to my when I get twice as far away from my camera, it gets half as big. If the sunset happened because it was getting so far away from you, it should get tiny, but it doesn't. It just goes down. We've all seen it.
This is disproven too in the debate against a physicist. And I'm
what debate against a physicist?
I'll send it to you after.
Do you know who the physicist was?
No.
It wasn't me?
No, it wasn't you.
Okay.
But like I said, like that was one of the points about the Great Lakes, and I was trying to bring it to your attention, but I don't know if you agree that you shouldn't be able to see it. So if you see it,
from 100 kilometers away, yeah, if you shouldn't be able to see that every day, no. But I don't think that anybody's presented that evidence. I don't think because the one that I have seen, which was done by I think was claimed to have been done by Nathan Thompson, but he actually stole the video from someone else, he was lying in it. He said that it was 60 miles away or something like this, and you can just go like geolocate it basically based off of like the things that you can see, and it's actually like 30 miles away. So why should I believe any flat earther when they say, oh, I'm 60 miles away and I can see that? Like, why should I believe them when like one of the biggest flat earthers, Nathan Thompson, literally had to lie in order to present that quote unquote evidence? Like that's a huge issue. Can you point to a case where like the scientific evidence had to be manufactured in order to prove the globe Earth?
Well, yeah, all the science is manufactured that we have. The Earth is not how big they say it is. The sun is not 9,000 miles
Kobe, here's
away.
another question then. Why is it that you can fly direct from Santiago to Sydney? So Santiago's in Chile. Sorry, Santiago's in Argentina. No, it's Chile. I'm sorry. Santiago's in Chile. You can fly direct from Santiago to Sydney, Australia, right? And it takes the same amount of time for a similar flight in the Northern Hemisphere. And yet, if the Earth was flat, Santiago should be way further away than from Sydney than any two places are in the Northern Hemisphere.
So you're saying why can you fly directly from?
So look, it's a Qantas flight. So is it flight 14? I think it's Qantas flight 14. Let me just double check. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's from Buenos Aires, Argentina to Sydney. So it's QF14, not Santiago, but roughly the same way. So QF14 it's a flight that regularly flies. It flies from Argentina to Australia. And you can just look up other flights. So flights from Santiago to Sydney, and we can just find them. QF28, there we go. QF28. It's flying soon. It flies from Santiago to Sydney. The time of flight is what? How long does the average flight take? The average flight takes like 14 and a half hours or so, right? 14 and a half hours to fly from Sydney, Australia to Santiago, Chile, right? Now, if you wanted to fly from, say, Tokyo to, I don't know, San Francisco. It's about 5,100 miles. What about Santiago to Sydney distance? I just want to find something comparable. Santiago to Sydney, that's actually quite a bit further. Let's say Tokyo to New York. Tokyo to New York is around the same distance, right? So I wonder, are there any direct flights from Tokyo to New York? Let's find out. It looks like there are direct flights from Tokyo to New York. They take about 13 and a half hours. Now, Tokyo to New York is about 300 miles less distance between Santiago and Sydney, so it's going to take slightly less time. But they take basically the same amount of time for basically the same distance in the northern and southern hemisphere. But on the southern hemisphere, Santiago to Sydney should be like 3 times further away. How does that work?
It should be 3 times further away.
Like 2 or 3 times further away.
QF14, right? That's the flight. And then what's the other flight?
The other flight I was looking at is it was just something on American. Let me see if I can find it. It is AA168. It's about the same amount of time.
So Chicago to Athens.
No, AA168 is Haneda Airport to JFK.
AA160A.
168.
168.
Yeah.
Tokyo to New York. Okay. So you're saying that the time difference does not make sense?
No. What I'm saying is the fact that they basically take the same amount of time doesn't make any sense. Let me show you something. So here we have the flat Earth map, right? This is like the standard flat Earth map.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry, I'm all of a sudden not centered. There we go. Standard flat Earth map. So standard flat Earth map, right? So the distance between, I can't draw on this. Let me make sure that it can show my browser or show my cursor. There we go. Oops. Why is it doing this? Sorry, one sec. I have to close my door because there's some noise.
No, it's okay.
All right, so we have our standard flat Earth map. Now you're gonna have to pay attention to my cursor, okay?
Okay, I'm looking.
So we have Sydney's over here, Santiago, Chile's over here, right? So that's the distance that we're moving.
Yeah.
Right? Now, Tokyo is like right about here. And New York is here-ish, right?
Yeah.
So if it were the case that we were on a flat Earth, it should take, you know, maybe twice as long to fly from Santiago to Sydney or back compared with Tokyo to New York. The distance is just twice as big, roughly, right?
Yeah.
And yet, if you look at the two flights, they take basically the same amount of time. It's like an hour, half an hour shorter to go from Tokyo to New York than it is from Sydney to Santiago.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, somehow, with just an extra hour, they're able to cover twice the distance. How does that make any sense?
So I'm trying to actually get the flight path on the map.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe they fly directly straight over the North Pole. I don't think they would even allow any airplanes.
Yeah, you definitely do. I've actually flown over the North Pole. You can see it out the window. Well, you can. I mean, like the North. There's no land at the North Pole, but like there's Greenland, and you can fly. I've flown over Greenland many times.
Or directly, like the direct North Pole.
There's no land there. It's just ocean.
No, there's land there, and you can tell that
there is land there. What
what
evidence do you have that there's land at the North Pole?
I know there's land there because biblical texts and some.
You know there's land there because the Bible says so.
I'm gonna tell you how.
Sure,
you
go
can
ahead.
Verify.
Sure.
So on weather maps, you can see there's a circle that the air basically goes around at the North Pole, and it's a circle. It's 33 miles.
By the way, the path for AA-168 from Tokyo to JFK doesn't even have to fly over the North Pole. We can actually go look at what the path would be on a globe Earth, and it makes a lot of sense. Let me just find where New York is, and then let me go find where Tokyo is. Tokyo is somewhere like here-ish. So I'm going to show you something else. This is Google Earth, right? I assume you're familiar with it.
Somewhat.
Okay, so this is Google Earth. So I just drew a line connecting Japan, Tokyo, to New York City, right? And notice that it doesn't actually have to pass over the North Pole, right? The North Pole's like somewhere in here. This is passing over like Alaska. It's passing over the northern part of Alaska, but it's passing over Alaska. And we can actually go compare that with the flight path that they take. If you look at the flight path here, you'll see that it passes slightly south of Alaska. They don't want to fly over Russia for probably obvious reasons, but they pass over Alaska, right? So like,
yeah.
I mean, like this path would take them over Russia, so I can understand why they don't do that. So they probably take a little bit of a detour. They probably do that. Because they don't want to fly over Russia. But the point stands that they take a nearly direct route from Tokyo to JFK. And then similarly, we can go look at a similar route from Santiago to Sydney. Let's go take Sydney's here, and then Santiago's here. And lo and behold, what do you find? They fly south, actually. On a flat Earth, that makes perfect sense. It's basically the same, on a globe Earth, it makes perfect sense. It's basically the same distance. And we can go look at QF28 on flight radar. We can go look what path they take. They fly south. They fly south and then north again. Just like, as expected, if the Earth were a globe, fly south first, then fly back up north. And then they end up taking the same amount of time, nearly the same amount of time, from Japan to New York as it is from Australia to Chile. The numbers just don't make sense on a flat Earth. You're traveling twice as far. How does that work?
So let's look at the speed. So we get 575 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then 642 miles per hour. So
Is that twice as fast?
No, it's not twice as fast. But the difference is there. Let's look at that.
Well, I mean, for what it's worth, one's flying east to west and the other's flying west to east. And generally flying west is slower because of the winds, right?
Because of the winds?
The winds, yeah. So
And that doesn't have
so
to
the
do with
the prevailing winds on the Earth blow from west to east. So if you're flying against the winds, you're going to end up going slower.
Okay.
Sorry, from east to west. Not the winds blow from west to east. So if you're going from east to west, you're going against the winds.
Okay, so I'm looking at one that's going.
So we can look for a flight. We can look at a flight going in the other direction from HND to JFK. We can just look for that. It looks like that there is a nonstop flight on American. Oh, it takes almost exactly the same amount of time. Look up sorry, I don't want the return flight. I just want the original flight. Look up AA167. That flies the exact same direction as the. Let me just show this so everybody can see what I'm doing. Look up AA flight 167. This flies from JFK to Tokyo, and it flies. It's currently in the air. It's flying up 548 miles an hour. It's flying over Alaska. It's going to take, according to Google Maps or according to Google Flight, anyway, it's going to take. What was the time? 14 hours and 20 minutes, which is the same amount of time that it would take to go from Santiago to Sydney. And it's basically the same speed, 522 versus 548. They're flying in the same direction. They take the same amount of time. How is it that one goes twice as far as the other?
It doesn't go twice as far.
So is Sydney not twice as far away from Santiago as Tokyo is from New York?
So we have 9,000 miles.
Sorry, the distance, what's the distance from Tokyo? So we can just look at these distances again, right? So
it's only a 2,000 mile difference.
We have here to here, right?
Mm-hmm.
On a flat Earth, we have here to here. And then we have here to here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That looks like roughly twice the distance.
Yeah, that's the thing about the flat Earth maps. I still haven't seen one with a scale.
So is this not to scale? So it's
Well, I'm
distorted is what
talking
you're
about,
telling
like,
me?
A scale like with measurements like
You don't need a scale to compare distances. If that's a correct map, then the ratio should be correct. Right? I mean, like maybe 1 inch is 1,000 miles, or maybe 1 inch is 500 miles, whatever it is. The ratio should be the same if the map is correct.
Yeah,
it's just scaled down. So the fact that one is twice as far away on this map from the other, if the Earth were actually flat, then that would mean that in real life, one would be twice as far away as the other.
So do we compare, the 2,000 difference in altitude, 2,000 difference in distance, the varying speeds?
They're like the same height. They're one is moving 20 miles an hour faster than the other. And one is at 35,000 feet, the other's at 34,000 feet. Like, I don't know how. Like, how is that account? So there's AA167 from JFK to Tokyo.
Yeah, got that one. And then what's the other one where you're saying they're flying
QF28.
QF28.
Yep. They're both like QF28 is flying slightly slower than AA167 because it just is. I mean, who knows why? It might just be different different atmospheric conditions, right? But the direct flight distances, like, I mean, one of them is moving 5% slower than the other, and you're telling me that would make it be able to. Actually, hold on, this doesn't even make sense, because the one from JFK to New York is flying faster than the one from New York to Tokyo is flying faster than the one from Chile to Australia. So in fact, the difference in flight goes in the wrong direction, or the difference in speed goes in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So in fact, if it were really twice the distance, then the Northern Hemisphere one should get there should take less than half as long to get there because it's going slightly faster. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then also, and then just look at, well, why is the flight from Chile to Australia, why is it flying over the ocean? Why doesn't it pass over, say, I don't know, North America? It should, but the flight path says it's not going to.
Wait, it should fly to North America?
On the flat Earth, it should. Yeah, take a look. If they were flying from Santiago to Sydney, they should pass right over North America, right? Like right over Mexico and California and all of that. But they're not. In fact, they're going this way. They're going this way. They're passing.
Yeah.
They're only flying over the ocean the entire way.
So these flight maps, they have these like loops, and that's for the elevation, or is that like
What loops?
So if you look at the flight map, and you see like the line from destination to destination is not straight; it's a curve, right?
Yeah, that's because you're looking at a curved surface projected onto a flat surface. So this is the Mercator projection. The flat or straight lines on the Mercator projection are not the shortest path. So the curve that you're seeing is because you're looking at a flat map for a curved Earth.
Okay.
That's why it's not flat. That's why it's not straight on the map.
Okay, this is interesting. I'm actually gonna look into this.
Like this stuff, like these two flights, like this kills the flat Earth, because there's no way to like unless, I mean, I guess you could say that American Airlines Flight 167 is like just doing circles in the sky just to kill time to fake the shape of the Earth, and the FlightAware website is just incorrectly mapping the path that the plane takes, so it makes it seem like it's longer and it's traveling faster than it is. Like, unless all of that's made up in a lie, like then the flat Earth doesn't make any sense.
So this is a common talking point for globe versus flat Earth, these two flight paths?
I haven't seen the AA-167 one before, but QF-28 is definitely commonly brought up. There's another flight that people often use in the Northern Hemisphere that's similar, but I couldn't remember what it was. So I knew that there were direct flights from Tokyo to New York, and I knew that the distances were about the same. So I just pulled it up.
Well, yeah, this actually makes sense on your end. So yeah, I want to look into this now. Look into it a little bit more.
Sounds good to me, man. Kobe, look, I'm gonna let you go because there's a bunch of guests and I should probably get to them.
For sure. Thanks for having me on, man. Thanks for your time. I'll send you that video.
Sounds good, man.
Check it out.
Thanks for being here, Kobe. Take care. All right, we have some super chats to read, and then we can move on to the next guest. So I think I missed some. No, maybe I didn't miss any. So from Fear's interaction with the $2 saying, Poe's podcast is a reference to Poe's Law. I gotcha. Okay. Hooper sends fist bump. Thank you so much, Hooper. I appreciate the $3. Grimlock sends $5 for, I'll take a flat Earth model 0.01% seriously when a flat earther can legitimately explain how both borealises can be visible on their model. Yeah, that's a really good question too. How does the Aurora Borealis work on their model? Abe Son sends $2 for Santa proves there's land at the North Pole. True, it's about as reasonable as the flat Earth, right? And then Long Dong Lover sends $1 a poop emoji. I appreciate that. Now, before I bring on the next guest, I do want to shill for myself again. I have a new channel on YouTube. It's called Dr. Blitz Debunks. I'm trying to get it monetized and it needs 1,000 subscribers, and we are not at 1,000 yet. We're at 915, and there's like 1,000 people watching this live right now. Actually, no, there's more. There's like 1,400 people watching this live right now on TikTok and YouTube combined. So make sure to go subscribe. If you're watching, if you're enjoying it, if you want to see me doing debunking videos, which will be appearing on this channel soon. If you want to see clips from debates that you may have missed, it'll appear on this channel. Make sure to go subscribe and watch some of the videos. They're funny. They have, I pulled the best parts for the videos. It's called Dr. Blitz Debunks on YouTube. If you're on TikTok and you want to find it, just go to my link tree and it's one of the YouTube links there. It's not the main YouTube channel. It's a new YouTube channel. So go subscribe and look at that. We got another 27. We are 58 away. Make sure to go subscribe to the new YouTube channel, and then we can move on to the next guest. All right, let's talk to somebody else. All right, let's talk to Apprentice of the Way. All right, it looks like they're not connecting. Let's talk to Mike Nelly. So by the way, looks like Mike's not connecting. The reason why I created a new channel for just the debunking and just the clip stuff is because I want to keep the main channel. The videos I'm going to be posting on the main channel, here's a hint, I'm going to start making long form content. At least I'm going to try to start making long form content. And I want to keep all of the content on the main channel, aside from the live streams, as science-based, just like science explainers, cool science things. And so the second channel will be where all the spicy stuff happens. Oh, we just hit 1,000. Hell yeah, guys. Now you just need to watch the videos. If you watch the videos, I also need 1,000 hours of watched content, right? So I also need those, but that'll come soon. Why not Dr. Blitz highlights? I don't know. It's too late now. The Bigs, how's it going?
Don't matter what we think, though.
I want to make sure you like it.
The Bigs. The Bigs, can you hear me?
If you are happy, it's better than what it was.
The Bigs. Yeah. No, it's not 4,000 hours. It's 1,000 hours, I think. All right, the Bigs is not here. That's fine. We'll bring up another guest. Long form content, not long hair content. Oh, it's Trey. Anna, how's it going? Anna, can you hear me? Anna? All right. Let's talk to Howard. If I can figure out how to do the horizontal live streaming on the debunking channel and the vertical one on the main channel, I will, but I don't know how to do that yet. Howard, how's it going? Howard? Howard? Howard, can you hear me? I can hear you. All right, here's the link again, just for people who want to see it. Let's talk to Jadui.
Oh, finally I'm up. Do you remember me, my guy?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's fair.
Do you think the Earth is
talk about
what shape do you think the Earth is?
Of course.
Okay,
of course.
you think it's flat. Got it.
Mm-hmm. So,
okay.
Did we talk about the eye and how we see in curved visual space? Do you remember?
I've talked about that with a lot of people. We may have, but yeah, I don't remember the specific conversation. So you think the Earth is flat, and you want to use the eye's curved visual space as evidence for that claim?
Oh, absolutely. And I specifically remember that you brought up like a picture or a diagram that we see in a curved dome, but only to a point where so we see straight, but then it turns curved,
and then it goes back to straight.
Yeah, it goes back to straight.
Well, no, it starts off curved, then it curves in the other direction, and then it's straight. It's a perceptual thing.
What do you mean other direction? You mean like
so it curves?
curving?
So like a Pringle, the curvature becomes negative rather than positive.
All directions.
I don't think you're understanding. You can have negatively curved space and you can have positively curved space. Positively curved space is what you think of when you think of a sphere. Negatively curved space is kind of like a Pringle. And it turns out that when you have positively curved space in the near field, you have negatively curved space in the midfield, and then you have flat space in the far field. That's what the data indicates, and I'm pulling it up right now in case you don't believe me.
I want to see it.
Yeah, one sec. I just need to find the DOI number. I don't know why the DOI number is so hard to find. It's only from 2000. It shouldn't be that bad. One moment. Ah, okay. I don't even need the DOI number. I just found it online for free anyway. Let me make sure that this is the one that I was thinking of. Yeah, okay, it is. Right. Let me pull up the thing so then you can see it as well.
Crazy.
Here we go. This is the paper. It's called Direct Measurement of the Curvature of Visual Space. It was done by a Danish guy and a guy at Vanderbilt like 25 years ago. But the important point, the relevant thing. So actually, this is a really good diagram. So see how the triangle's curving in, the bigger triangle's curving in, and then the smaller triangle's curving out. So that's what I mean by the curvature direction changes. So we have positive curvature in the near field. There's a positive number here. So this is the near field row. Notice that all of the numbers are positive. And then in the medium field, we have negative numbers everywhere. That's the medium field, up to 8 meters. And then at the far field, this is 11 to 16 meters away. Notice that the curvature becomes 10 to the minus 4. So the curvature is within their error, because their error is 10 to the minus 4. So the curvature becomes within error bounds of 0 in the far field at 11 meters and further. So this is that you have positive curvature in the near field, medium curvature negative curvature in the medium field, and then 0 curvature in the far field. And in fact, they have a diagram here as well. This is kind of like what the curvature shape looks like. But how does this
representations of how we see in hyperbolic space, curved visual?
No, this shows that we don't see in hyperbolic space, right? This is the curvature of the visual fields, right? But anyway, the point is that like I don't see how this has anything to do with the shape of the Earth as it stands.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Okay, can you explain?
I even told you about how we applied curved visual space to robots, and they were walking like, well, this is very political now, but they were walking like Joe Biden, and then they started walking regularly, like.
But what does that have to do with the shape of the Earth?
I wasn't gonna say Trump, but yeah. So if we're seeing curved visual space, it would mean that what other people say, oh hey, I got on a plane and I saw the curve, through a curved glass window, by the way, it would mean that they're seeing, they're applying their visual outlook onto physical land, but really
so we don't need to just look. We don't need to see, like we don't need to use our eyes to figure out the shape of the Earth as a sphere.
Oh,
like,
no,
even if we just grant that, like, oh yeah, our eyes do like funky things, and ignore the fact that you can see the curve. You can see the curve whether it's above the horizon or below the horizon, or whether it's above your eye level or below your eye level. And if it was a result of curved visual space, then you wouldn't be able to see it in both above and below. Even ignoring that, we have other ways to determine the shape of the Earth that don't rely on human vision.
No. So because they applied spherical geometry to the ground instead of the sky. For instance, stellarium, we see in a dome in stellarium, when you map out the stars in stellarium, that's like a dome with curved visual space around the observer. So that's what I'm saying.
Just because it's a dome doesn't mean that your visual space is curved, right? Like the light travels in straight lines.
Well, that's just like a abstract type of, I'm not saying there's the dome that we're seeing.
No, I know. You're referring to the what is it? The celestial sphere, the celestial hemisphere that's over somebody when they're looking up at the sky. That doesn't mean that it's curved visual space, by the way, just because it's a celestial hemisphere. My point is we don't have to rely on what humans see with our eyes. We can rely on instruments, and we can do other tests to determine the shape of the Earth.
No, that's absolutely true. I'm putting this out there because I remember we were talking about us seeing in curved vision, like straight, and then it curves, and then it goes straight again. How would you agree?
It's curved, and then it curves the other direction, then it's straight.
Okay, so curve, so straight, curve, and then straight.
It's not straight.
That's
No, it's never straight. It's never straight. It's always curved. It starts out it's not straight close up, right?
People say we see in Euclidean vision, but then
our vision is Euclidean far away. So in fact, seeing the curvature of the Earth far away is Euclidean. It's flat.
Well, if you assert it, if you.
I just showed you the paper that.
Go ahead and assert.
I just showed you the paper with the evidence for it.
No.
What are you saying no to? Are you saying no to the evidence? Because I can show you the table again. I can show you the table again.
No, we're missing the point. We see straight.
I grant that.
Then curved, then straight again.
No, we don't. That's not what the evidence says.
And now you're saying we see curved but straight, then curved, or
no. It's not curved. It's not curved but straight. It's curved. It's curved. Okay, look at this. Look at this chart. Right. This chart, if you can see it, this chart is a measure of the curvature of your visual space. Starts out positively curved. Starts out here, right? Super positively curved, and then there's some. Between the like near vision, which is between 0 and 1 meter away, and 1 and 2 meters away, your vision changes to negatively curved. So it's positively curved initially, then it's negatively curved in the near term, and then it goes up to not curved at all. See how it's at 0, and see how as you get further away, it gets closer to 0? That's because your vision approaches, your vision is effectively Euclidean at more than 10 meters. And the horizon is more than 10 meters. So yeah, we can rely, I mean, I'm not even making the claim that you can see the curvature from an airplane with your eyes, but like if you could rely on that because your vision is Euclidean at that distance.
Okay, if we were to grant that we're seeing Euclidean ever, because perspective doesn't really grant that we're always seeing in Euclidean space, because we're seeing curved visual space as well.
You keep asserting that. Look, so there's kind of two different things. One thing is like, what does the projection of the world look like onto the two-dimensional like cornea? And that can have curvature, but the actual distortion that you get will not have, like there will be no distortion in what you actually see versus how things actually are. And that's what this experiment showed. They basically asked, where do things appear to be versus where are things actually? Like, what's the distance between things? And what they found is that as things get further away, your vision gets closer and closer, and like asymptotically approaches Euclidean, which means that there's no distortion.
Asymptotically, I don't think anyone here in the audience knows what asymptotically means.
I would bet more people in the audience know what it means than in any flat Earth audience. In fact, show of hands.
I'm looking it up.
Show of hands. If you're in the comments, say yes if you know what asymptotically means. Say no if you don't know what it means. There's no shame in saying no. I want you guys to be honest.
Come on, man. If you have like 14,
are you reading the comments?
Like 700, people.
Are you reading the comments?
Let's see.
Go look at the comments.
I'm looking it up right now. But
look at the comments.
Some people could also be lying about that.
I told them to be honest. I don't know why they would lie to me.
Well,
plenty of people are saying no, but there's more people saying yes. It might even be about 50-50. I can run a poll.
They'd even go around like I bet like 50 people at this point, or like maybe not. I'm over exaggerating. Like 30 people said yes. 20 people said no.
Let's run a poll. I'm just curious. I just want to know what the numbers are. So give me a
let's do the poll.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a 1-minute quick poll. Give me a smiley face if you know what asymptotic means. Give me a sad face if you don't know what asymptotic means. YouTube, you're gonna have to sit this one out, unfortunately. But TikTok, yeah, please go ahead and give me a smiley face or a sad face. Smiley face if you know what it means. Sad face if you don't. And there's no shame in not knowing what it means. So it's looking like the happy faces are winning, but it's close match. It's close. Happy faces are still in the lead.
Let's be honest.
You learn what asymptotic means in high school, my guy. It's like high school math.
You're not taught the fundamental laws of logic. That's kind of crazy.
Sure. I don't know what school you went to, but. Yeah,
no,
so
they don't teach logic in high school. Let's be honest.
I don't know what high school you went to. I mean, yeah, that's probably the case that a lot of schools don't. I agree, actually, that a lot of people are not logical. I absolutely agree. So it looks like
maybe when we're talking.
So the smiley faces have it.
We also do a poll of.
It's done. By the way, the smiley faces have it 92 to 79. So it was like maybe like 55-45 or 60-40 in favor of people who do know what it means. Anyway, you were saying.
Okay, dang. I didn't know that word.
Now you do.
Embarrassing. No. Okay, so now do people know the fundamental laws of logic?
It seems irrelevant to the flat Earth and to the discussion that we were having.
Well, not necessarily.
Okay, but yeah, so I would imagine that most people here do. We can run that. Again, smiley face if you know the fundamental laws of logic. If you know the 3 laws of logic, give me a smiley face. If you don't give me a smiley face. Give me a frowny face. Anyway, but so while we're talking, we can let that run in the background. So, look, I don't get how. Let's say that we have a curved visual space. I don't understand how that means that all of a sudden the Earth is flat. I mean, like we can measure the shape of the Earth in other ways. Like, were you here for the conversation about flight paths?
Yeah, but I don't really necessarily want to get into flight paths.
I mean, that's a good way to show that the Earth can't be flat, at least not as represented by the Gleason map.
No, I was going to talk about horizons actually.
I'm sure we can, but before we do that, do you want to address the flights or no? Do you just want to not address them because they destroy your worldview?
I don't like. We could get to that later. How about that? Later.
Promise?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that. All right, you wanted to talk about Horizons?
Yeah.
Okay, what about it?
So like earlier when you showed that picture, we had the buildings, or like about 10 buildings, right?
Yeah.
And they're supposedly behind the curve.
Sorry to cut you off, by the way. The poll just ended. 66 people knew what the laws of logic were, 29 people did not. So the majority.
Oh,
anyway.
But this is also like a...
Yeah, so my audience generally is probably more well-educated than most audiences are.
Thank you.
But anyway, you were saying Horizons.
Yeah, so like you've seen like 10 buildings in that picture that you... Want to bring it up? Bring it up?
Yeah, okay, I can. Let me see if I can find it again.
While you're doing that, let's inform the audience of the definition of horizon.
Here we go.
It's the hold on. Let me ask Google because I want to be very smart with this. Horizon.
I think that we know what the word horizon means, don't we?
Yeah, no.
The horizon is the place where the sky meets the ground. Right.
Well, okay. Merriam-Webster says this, 1A, the line where the earth seems to meet the sky.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
But hold on, seems. And then also the apparent junction of, connection of earth and sky. So
yeah, so that's what I said.
Yeah. It's seems and apparent would be the operative words for my...
Well, yeah, because the sky is not like a physical thing, so of course it can't like literally touch the ground. The sky is not like a thing that can touch things. The sky is just above the ground. It's just the area above the ground.
That's not the point.
What's the point?
We have seems. Can you bring it up again though? Like, because we want to look at this picture, really understand it.
Sure.
So.
Oops.
Oh my gosh, what's this?
I was trying to bring up another tab.
So we have. Oh, am I muted? Am I muted, chat?
No, I'm muted.
You're muted
because I was typing.
Okay. So we have the apparent location where the sky meets the ground. That's the horizon. Okay, cool.
The line at which the Earth's surface and the sky appear to meet. Yes. What's your contention with the word? With the problem with the word?
So we have the atmos, right? Or I don't want to say atmosphere. People get I don't want to distract our audience. That's what's in contention, brother. So
I'm sure
what we have here is
a failure to communicate.
And we have why are you getting feisty? You're as feisty with the other guy, man.
You came in kind of hot. No, but that was a reference to a piece of film.
How hot did I come? You
didn't come in hot. It was a reference, my guy. I was just doing a bit.
Okay.
Anyway, so do you have a problem? What's wrong with this photo?
Yeah, so the horizon, the apparent seems okay, cool. We have the atmos, which fluctuates. It changes that apparent horizon. Why are you laughing?
Because atmos is a stupid word.
Oh, that's why you're laughing. Hey, just let it out, man. The truth will be set free.
I did. That's why I laughed.
Well, that's good, man.
Anyway, what's the issue with the photo?
Yeah, so we have the atmos, we have the apparent horizon, and we also have wait. Oh, why are you laughing again?
Every time, it's just funny. It's just funny.
Okay.
I'm sure you can talk without me laughing, I'm sure you can talk without interrupting yourself because I'm laughing.
I'm just looking away when I see teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you should look away.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And we have mirages on the apparent horizon that's affected by the atmos and the way that it fluctuates all the time.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? All right.
Yeah, the horizon's location fluctuates based on the what's going on with the atmosphere. That's definitely the case.
Got it.
However, its average location is determined by the shape of the Earth.
Okay, you could just assert that, but that's what's in contention.
So why? So if the horizon was merely a result of atmospheric phenomena, why would it always have roughly the same average, which is consistent with the shape of the Earth, but not consistent with a flat Earth?
Oh, you're talking about perspective. You have to throw that little nugget into the
No, I'm not
conversation
talking
as
about
well.
perspective. I'm talking about the location of the horizon.
Oh, you're claiming that there's an actual, I think you call it geodetic, like geodetic curve, like a physical curve.
Well, the Earth is a sphere, so yes, it is curved.
Okay, you can never actually get the math for that curve. It's always fluctuating with the apparent horizon.
That's why I'm talking about the average
So-
distance to the horizon. The average accounts for the atmospheric effects, right? That's what the average does. But no, I wasn't even referring to the horizon in general. I was just referring to the shape of the Earth being a sphere. Like from the shape of the Earth being a sphere, you can predict where the average location of the horizon will be. And it agrees with where it actually is.
No, the average is basically where our eyes like it would have to do with the vantage point of the limit of our eyes seeing in the distance. Like at the very, very end of the longest hallway you've ever seen. That's what, like 359,000 miles. Like to the decimal. There's like a decimal point.
359,000 miles?
No, okay, sorry. You know what I'm trying to say. Everyone here knows what I'm
No, I have no idea what you're trying to say. 359,000 miles is really far.
Liar.
What?
Huh? Yeah, yeah. Really
What
far.
are you referring to as 359,000 miles away?
Like the way you see stuff. Like how
What's
far you see stuff.
What? What are you talking about?
Like you could see really far, like 359,000.
You can see 359,000 miles away?
Yeah.
How far away is the sun?
Like 4,000 miles.
Okay, so why can't I see the sun at midnight then, if I can see 359,000 miles away?
Attenuation. You don't know. Attenuation is when the atmos, gets extinct by. See what? Okay, now you're just laughing because you know it's atmos is the correct way to use it.
No, I'm laughing because it sounds dumb. No, so look, I'm familiar with attenuation. What do you think is the extinction rate for light in the atmosphere?
Isn't it Snell's law?
No, it's not Snell's law.
Yo, I'm not going numbers. Yo.
The extinction rate is something like if I remember correctly, I can pull it up. It's like 0.0007% per kilometer or something like this. Let me pull it up. I know that there's I've looked this up before and I know exactly where it is. I just need to actually find it.
Speaking of which, yo, when I saw that image and people said it was atmospheric conditions and all this and
extinction coefficient, attenuation coefficient. This is what I wanted.
Conditions.
I
saw an experiment where they put like a plastic lens over that.
Yeah, so they had to use a physical Fresnel lens, is what that's called, by the way. They had to use a Fresnel lens, which has vastly different properties from an atmosphere, in order to reproduce it on the surface of a flat Earth, right? So they had to basically use a lens to mimic what the atmosphere does, even though the atmosphere isn't curved like that. They had to use a lens so that they could reproduce the result, even though that's not what actually happens. The lens is not, or the atmosphere is not a lens, right? We know that. Do we agree on that? It definitely has refractive effects. However, the point is it's not shaped like a lens, right? It's not shaped like a Fresnel lens, certainly. That has nothing to do with how light bends. I think it's on this page, isn't it?
Light doesn't physically bend. No.
Light absolutely bends. What do you think Snell's law tells you?
Oh, brother.
What do you think Snell's law tells you?
The rate of attenuation?
No, it's the rate of refraction. It's not even a rate of refraction. It's just the refraction coefficient shows up in Snell's law. Light absolutely bends.
No,
you seem confused. If you think that light doesn't bend and that Snell's law tells you about attenuation?
I'll be honest with you, brother. Yeah, I just use Snell's law with attenuation when people mention.
Oh, then you're doing it wrong. That's wrong.
Oh, that's
like that's like factually incorrect. Just Google what Snell's law is.
okay. I stand corrected. What I mean to say is like light doesn't bend, brother. We just have
That's
the
what Snell's
rate
law.
of-
Snell's law tells you how much light bends.
Oh, why'd you? Okay, we just have the rate of what's it called? Like we basically got the speed of light between sensors, and we have the rate of. I don't know, man. I'm
You
kind of
seem
bad with
awfully
words right now.
confused.
Well, kind of. There's like a million things going through my head, like the Michelson and Morley experiment, and how light doesn't. Light accounts for the way that space and time bends and all that stuff, and that's just.
I get it. It's confusing. Why does that mean?
Well,
why does it
yeah.
being confusing mean that the Earth is flat?
No, it's kind of the opposite way around. Is like why does it be confusing? Mean that the Earth is round?
Well, it's
you
not.
know?
See,
And
it's
the
not
people-
for the people who actually like study this stuff, or like the physicists and so on. It's not confusing, but that's because it takes some time to wrap your head around, and then it
And some
kind of
money.
just.
As
No, actually,
motivation.
getting a PhD doesn't cost anything in the U.S.
Well, studying the flat Earth doesn't. Well, it costs you everything.
I would believe that if people weren't grifting off of the flat Earth, but people are.
No, not necessarily. Like you won't really. Well, okay. Think about this. You think Nathan Thompson and Austin Whitsitt are making a lot of money off of it?
They're making a
think about
living,
that.
apparently.
That's fine, but then people under them, like I don't know.
Yeah,
many
no,
other,
they're
like,
the
you
ones
know-
that are getting grifted, right?
Well, that's
They're
what
the
I'm
ones
saying.
getting taken advantage of.
Actually, the inverse of that. Like, do you think that they're making money themselves?
The followers or the t-shirt sellers?
Well, they're teachers as well. They're
T-shirt.
Not.
They sell t-shirts.
I thought you said teachers for a second. No, I'm
Nope,
saying
I did not.
the people who are not Austin Winsett, people who are not like up there, they're not
Mhm.
making that much money.
Y-
Like they're
yeah,
probably
I-
making like
I
a couple
agree.
dollars. So why would you claim that?
They're not the ones
There's
grifting.
some
People like Austin
merit in
Whitsitt and
that.
Nathan Thompson are the ones grifting.
Well, just to make a living, if you don't understand all this stuff about like, let's say curved space time,
Mhm.
you would go ahead and
You'd be confused by it. I agree.
You'd be confused, but then if you don't understand anything that happens with the flat Earth as well, then you're gonna probably want to pursue something that would make you
Fortunately,
money.
I do understand the flat Earth business quite well. I've spoken with a lot of flat Earthers. I've spoken with Whitsitt several times. I've spoken
Oh,
with
okay.
Shane and
Oh, several
Nathan
times?
several times. Yeah,
Dang, that's kind of cool.
I've spoken with
but-
like most of the big flat Earthers. I don't think it's there's one that's like actually like a genuine Nazi on YouTube who I don't remember what his name is. I haven't
No.
spoken with him.
Okay, so you should be able.
You know that like a
you
lot of
should-
flat Earthers are Nazis, right?
Nah, man.
Just go. Hey, this is a perfect time to shill my video. So, 2 days ago, I
Alright,
posted a video on Dr. Blitz Debunks, the channel that you guys should all go subscribe to, where I literally am talking to a flat earther who crashes out and reveals his Nazi business.
Are you done?
Did you hear me?
I covered my ears, but I'm back.
So, in my video posted
I
2
heard
days
you,
ago.
I heard you.
Okay.
But
Good.
I'm not necessarily like I don't think that's. All of
It's
us
just
or
no. I
whatever.
never said it was all. It's Eric Dubay. Yeah, Eric Dubay's the Nazi. It's not all, but it's definitely a lot of the Nazis are flat earthers, and a lot of the flat earthers are Nazis. Should definitely give you some pause.
Okay.
Neither
But
here nor
no,
there, though.
I
But
reject
look-
that. No.
Okay.
Hey, this-
Okay.
Well, sorry.
But anyway,
This-
so do
this
you
is-
want to talk about the flight paths? We can talk about the flight paths.
Wait, this is what I wanted to say. You know all these guys, right, who are flat
Yeah.
Earth, you have conversations with Wisit.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Still man the flat Earth, please, for us.
Steel man up for you? Oh yeah, so on the flat so depending on who you ask, you will get that either the flat earth is a disk or it's an infinite plane surrounded by an ice wall. The sun goes over top the
Are you
disk
sure? Is that what Austin Wisit thinks? Let's just stick with Austin Wisit.
I'm
as-
sorry, were you interrupting my steel man?
Go ahead.
So depending on who you ask, you will either get that the flat Earth is genuinely a disk and there's nothing beyond the ice wall, or you will get that it's an infinite plane and the ice wall just separates us from the rest of it. Either way, on the interior of the ice wall, you have the continents laid out according to the Gleason map, at least typically, and you have the sun going around and above that that planar disk, and it oscillates between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn depending on the season. They typically cannot account for sunsets except by appealing to the Fresnel lens experiment that was done. Typically cannot account for long or for 24-hour suns in Antarctica, except by calling it fake. But nonetheless, they will say things like, oh, well, we can see too far, therefore it certainly can't be a globe, therefore it must be flat. They say that things fall because of electrostatics often, or because of density and buoyancy. Has there anything that I've missed? I literally cosplay as a flat earther for April Fools every year.
That's cool, but you
I know the arguments.
You've also missed that the universe, spins. The sky spins.
Oh yeah, no, that's an important feature. Yeah. They think that the sky spins, and that's how you can see the stars moving. Except that doesn't make sense because it's the north and south hemisphere, and they spin in opposite directions. So that doesn't make sense. But that is the thing that people say. Yeah, curved visual space doesn't make things spin in the opposite direction.
Well, actually, when you put like a what's it called, like a snow globe, like the top half, a hemisphere thing on top of like a flat plane. And you would have.
You mean glass?
Oh, no. A good example of this.
I know what you're referring to. By the way, no, we're not changing topics. You said that we would talk about the flight paths. Let's talk about them.
Stereographic image. There you go.
Okay. Now let's talk about flight paths. What do you make of the two flights from Santiago to Sydney and from New York to Tokyo? What do you make of
that? Let's look up a flat Earth video.
I'm sorry, can you respond to the question?
I never like, there's so much different ways to go about it. Okay, I don't know.
So then pick one.
Can you show me?
Yeah, sure. Doing this again. So we have this flight radar data stuff. Here you go. So we have two flights. By
the way,
come on, zoom out. Zoom out. So we have two flights. So this is QF28, Qantas Flight 28. It flies from Santiago to Sydney, right? It takes about 14 hours, 14 and a half or so. Yeah, they fly like every day or like every week or something. On the other hand, we have American Airlines Flight 167. American Airlines 167, sorry, let me make this more visible. American Airlines 167 flies from JFK to Tokyo. Now, notice, by the way, that this is basically the same path, just transposed to the northern hemisphere, kind of flipped over the equator. So you go from JFK to Tokyo, and you go from Santiago to Sydney, right? Basically the same path, just flipped over the equator. Now, they take almost exactly the same amount of time. They fly at almost exactly the same speed. They, the shape of the flight paths are almost exactly the same, just one is flipped relative to the other. And yet, on a flat Earth, one should take twice as long as the other does. Going from New York to Tokyo is this distance. Going from Santiago to Chile, or sorry, Santiago to Sydney is this distance, which is like twice as far. So how is it that the distances are the same? Sorry, the times of flight are the same. The speeds of flight are the same. The directions of flight are the same. And yet, one travels twice as far as the other. How does that work?
You know what? On both sides of the aisle. Is that a political term? Anyways. Yeah, that's pretty bizarre, brother.
It works on a globe perfectly.
Well, also, like, in contrast to your argument, we have somebody flying from Peru, Lima, Peru, to Los Angeles, to Auckland, and then it supposedly makes a triangle. Illuminati confirmed?
Are you trolling me?
No. In the first, from where
the hell is Peru? Why can't I find Peru on the map?
You have to bring up the equidistant, Azimuthal equidistant map.
Wait, where is Peru? In South America, where is Peru? I know it's somewhere here. I just can't find it. Where is it in like the north bit? I found it. Okay, so Lima to what's the next location?
Lima, Peru to Los Angeles.
Uh-huh.
To Auckland. I never heard of a place.
You've never heard of Auckland before? So wait, what's the question? Like what's the issue with this flight path?
Yeah, like why would so it makes perfect sense to go in a straight line from what I'm looking at on the azimuthal equidistant map. But over here, they're showing that they're going all the way up the sphere and all the way down the sphere, making a triangle. And
so probably because there's not enough traffic to go direct from Auckland or from Lima to Auckland. Both of these are
not enough traffic.
There's like a plane, an airline company has to justify a flight, and if they can't fill a flight, they're not going to fly it. So if they can't regularly find enough people who want to fly from Lima to Auckland, because why would you ever, like, what kind of person wants to fly direct from Lima to Auckland? Then they're just not going to run a direct flight. So they're going to connect through a more popular airport, like the one in Los Angeles.
That makes perfect sense. But as I'm looking at the globe to the flat Earth position. By the way, flat Earth was a psyop word, anyways. It's.
I'm sorry. What shape do you think the Earth is?
It's flat's not a shape.
Sure it is.
Flat's not a shape.
It's just as good a shape as round is.
You're kidding me.
Flat and round are just two adjectives, right?
Oh, I get called a grifter. That's funny. No. Flat is a description of a surface, right?
And so is round.
Right? Yeah, it's a description of a surface. But it's not a shape. There you go.
And neither is round then.
Blitz? I just schooled Blitz, guys.
Honestly, I shouldn't have had him on for so long. He was kind of annoying. All right, let's talk to Jeremy Watson. I don't know why. So there's a lot of people in the waiting room on YouTube, but I can't see any of them. Like, it's just not working. It's not loading. Let's see if they load in. Okay, Jeremy's not loading in. All right, we have good vibes. Oh, good vibes didn't connect. Oh, good vibes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Great. What shape do you think the Earth is?
So, quick question. You mentioned
before we do anything, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Well, why does that matter?
Because if you're not opposition, I don't want to talk to you.
Okay, then I do believe in the flat Earth, so we're good.
Okay, promise?
I promise.
Because good vibes, if you're trolling me, I will block you.
No, I would not lie to you. I
am
not
great.
A liar.
Great, because lying is a sin.
Everything to me.
So good vibes. You think the Earth is flat? Sure. You wanted to talk about the flight paths?
Correct. You mentioned that the flight to Chile and the flight to Australia are the same distance. It takes the same amount of time. Did you not say that?
No. The flight from Chile to Australia is about the same amount of time as the flight from New York to Tokyo.
Well, do you want to pull up that map again?
Yeah, sure. Oops. Wrong thing. Here we go. Here's the flight from Chile to Australia. Here's the flight from New York to Tokyo.
No, I'm sorry. What I'm referring to is if you're able to pull up that flat Earth model.
Yeah, this one, sure.
Yes. So if you go from the United States to Chile and then the United States to Australia.
Why? But we're not talking about a flight from the United States to Chile.
I'm trying to show you. All right, so you do show me again, if you could, please, what on that flat Earth.
This is the Mercator projection. So this is from Chile to Australia. And this is from New York to Japan, right? They're basically the same flight, just one is inverted. They're basically the same flight, just one's inverted, right?
Yeah, what I was trying to show you is somebody had told me that it was the Australia and Chile that you were comparing the two from.
No, I'm comparing a flight in the northern hemisphere to a nearly identical flight in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, I mean, there's a number of videos out there that kind of can show you flight patterns, and that flat.
Can you
Earth
explain
model
this one?
actually lines up. What's that?
Can you explain this one?
I'm saying if you take the flat Earth model and you take flight patterns, and if you compare them to the flat Earth model and then you compare them to the ball Earth, what I'm saying is the flight patterns do not make sense on a ball Earth.
I'm sure. So let's do that, right? So from Santiago to Sydney, Santiago to Sydney, it starts out flying south, then it swings up, flies north again. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. So it starts out flying south. It leaves Santiago flying southwest. Then it swings up and eventually ends up going northwest, right? And it crosses over no land during that entire period, right? There's no land between Santiago and Sydney. Now let's go look at the flat Earth. So on the flat Earth, we have Santiago's here. We have Sydney's over here. Now, if you were to swing south, somehow you would go around and then swing up north again. You could do that, but that wouldn't be a direct flight, so why would they take it? Instead, the direct flight would take you directly over North America. And yet they don't fly over land whatsoever. And they don't fly north. They don't start out by flying north. They instead start out by flying south. So why do they fly south? Why do they fly southwest than northwest? In actuality, they fly southwest.
Well, I understand
and then northwest,
saying, and I
rather than just flying straight north.
Right. Obviously, I don't know the answer to that question. But what I'm saying is, if you take that flat Earth model, if you take different points on that map, the distance, you'll see.
I just did.
All the way in you'll see that the time actually matches up on that map, whereas the round Earth model
does it? Do you want to
distorted?
Do you want to check?
Yeah. We
okay. Let's check. Let's do it right now. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Paint. We're just gonna put the flat Earth here, right? Let me make sure that we're using Paint. So here's the flat Earth, right? So we have a distance. Now we're gonna need a ruler, I think. Isn't there a ruler tool in Paint? Yeah. So here's Santiago to Sydney. So Santiago to Sydney. I think that isn't there a way to measure how long this is?
Well, I can.
Isn't there a ruler tool in Paint? Rulers. No, that's not what I wanted. There is not a ruler tool in Paint, it looks like. We will have to go elsewhere. Will we? Well, okay, we can just do this. So here's Santiago to Sydney, right? I'm just gonna take this same line. And then similarly, we have New York to Japan, right? Right about there. Do we agree that those are the two lines? Are those the two lines?
Okay.
So now I'm just going to take this line and I'm going to drag it over here. How much longer is the line from New York to Japan? Or sorry, is the line from Santiago to Chile, Santiago to Sydney, than New York to Japan? It looks like it's like a bit more than twice as long, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
now,
obviously. Okay.
Right. Now, so we have these two lines. So we know that it's a little bit more than twice as far to go from Chile to Sydney, to Australia. Now let's go look at the flight paths again.
It does look distorted, though. That does not look like the exact Earth
That's
map.
that's the Gleason map.
Distorted.
That's the Gleason map.
I'm just saying that, obviously constant size is going to change that equation.
So here we
continue.
Right. So now we have a flight this is from Santiago to Sydney. And remember, the distance from Santiago to Sydney is supposed to be more than twice as far as the distance between New York and Japan. So that means that the time should be, at least twice as long. So the flight from Santiago to Sydney is, it's 2 hours, 14 minutes elapsed, 11 hours, 3 minutes remaining. So that's like 13 hours and 13 and a half hours from Santiago to Sydney, right? And it's actually going to get in a bit early. So 13 hours, 17 minutes total travel time. Now let's go look at a flight from JFK, New York, to Tokyo. And what we find 30 minutes shorter. So you're traveling less than half the distance, but you're traveling less than half the distance, but it's only 30 minutes shorter.
What did you say was the amount of hours of the flight from?
They're both about 13 hours. One slightly more than 13 hours, the other is slightly less than 13 hours. You there?
I'm sorry, I was on the other screen. From Japan to where was the other one?
From New York to Japan. It's just under 13 hours. Following along? You there? Oh, he's minimizing the app.
Yeah, I was sorry, I had to look at the other screen. Yeah,
So
it's about
New
13
York to
14
Japan.
hours.
It's about 13 hours. Well, yeah, today I guess they're running a little fast, maybe because the winds are helping or something like that. It's about 13 to 14 hours. From from Santiago to Sydney, it's about 13, 14 hours.
Correct.
And so it takes the same amount of time, but one of them is traveling more than twice as far.
Well,
how does that make
pull
sense?
up that flat map again, if you could, please.
Yep. Right here. That's the wrong one. I meant the one with paint.
So what I'm trying to explain, at least, just, you know, the continents, the sizes of the continents and how it's spread out on that flat Earth map is going to change how long those lines look.
Oh, so you're telling me that this map is distorted? The flat Earth map is distorted?
I'm just simply saying that.
Well, you're right, because South America isn't as big as Asia. That's true.
So that was the main thing that I'm trying to get to, is because obviously, you know, we could create a map right now, the same map, it could look the same, but the bodies of water are going to be a little bit different. The land
You
mass
actually
is gonna be a little
can't
bit
fit.
smaller, bigger.
You actually can't fit the Earth on a flat Earth map without having some distortions.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that, but.
So can you show me can you give me an example of a flat Earth map that doesn't have any distortions?
No, I don't really bother studying the flat Earth map. But let me ask you this.
That's
question.
surprising,
Do you
considering
believe
you're a
in
flat
God?
earther. I don't, and it doesn't seem super relevant to the
Here's
question.
the reason why, because I honestly don't consume myself with the whole topic, because I've already awakened to everything that I need to. But here's my question to you: do you believe in God? And
I don't.
Okay, you don't.
No.
Now, here's the thing. Okay.
I'm sure.
A lot of people, most people, have been turned away from God because everything in our society gets us to turn away from God.
So A, this is off topic, but B, most of America believes in
It's really
God.
not off topic because it's in the Bible.
It is,
in the
but
Bible
you know
of the
that most
firmament.
Americans believe in God, right?
But you don't seem to understand. Most Americans believe in God, but they do not carry themselves in the aspect of what that truly means.
They don't carry themselves in the aspect of what that truly means.
Right. Exactly.
Look, so is it your claim? Is it your claim that in the Bible it says? I'm sorry. Is it your claim that in the Bible it says the Earth is flat?
Yeah, it's a flat stationary plane.
Does it say that in the Bible? What's the verse?
I don't know the exact.
It doesn't say that in the Bible.
It talks about the.
It talks about the firmament, which is another word for sky, and it talks about the Earth being like the wax under a seal. That's in Job. Now the issue is that the ancient Hebrews, 2,500 years ago, they did think the Earth was flat. They were wrong about it, and so they put their wrong beliefs into the Bible. And he's welcome back. Good vibes. I can't hear you when you're minimized, by the way.
Yeah, sorry. It's when I go on the other screen. I was trying to find that verse for you.
I know which verses you're referring to. I know them. There's also one in Psalms. You don't have to find them for me. I can find them for myself. Thank you. But look, the Bible is wrong about a lot of things, including the shape of the earth. So I don't see why appealing to the Bible is particularly helpful for you. You coming? Because it seems like I'm just having my time wasted because you're off the app.
Yeah, I can't find it.
I'm familiar with the verses. You don't have to go find them for me.
Okay. So then I just don't understand why you feel that the Bible contradicts.
I never said it contradicts the flat earth. I'm saying that it gets the shape of the earth wrong. That's the claim.
And why?
Because the earth isn't flat, it's a sphere. And we can test this. We have pictures of it, in fact.
Picture. Okay, that's another great
Photographs.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another great one.
Mm-hmm.
The non-fishbowl lens.
There's no such thing as a fishbowl lens. You're talking about a fisheye lens. Fisheye lenses don't make flat things. Let me show you. Let me show you the picture I'm talking about.
There's two different types of lenses.
You're talking about fisheye lenses, not. You're talking about fisheye lenses, not fishbowl lenses. Here, let me show you a photograph.
Another easy one.
Let me show. Please don't talk over me. Please don't talk over me.
Believe in NASA?
Please don't talk over me. Let me show you a photograph. This is called the blue marble photograph. It's on film. A fisheye lens won't get you this, right?
That has not been edited.
Yeah, it's on film. This hasn't been edited. This is not a digital photograph.
Where do you have this from?
This is from 1972. It's located in the Arizona State University Apollo Archives.
Again, I'll have to go look that up because I have never found one unedited video or photo of Earth. And if that's not edited, where's all the stars?
The exposure is too low. Earth is quite bright. It reflects quite a lot of light. Saying "oh please" is just a form of incredulity. Why can't I talk? Saying "oh please" is just a form of incredulity, and it's not actually a refutation. I mean, you understand this, right? If you try to take a picture of a traffic or of a traffic light at night, you will not see any stars in your photograph.
I don't take pictures of traffic lights, but you know.
You should try it. Just get your phone out, take a picture of a traffic light at night, and see if you see any stars.
Yeah. So so now that you're done talking, so you're telling me that you believe in NASA and everything that they tell you?
No, I don't really have to. Although generally most of the stuff they put out is good. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm disconnecting because NASA is completely false.
Oh, you're running.
Everything is fake. Everything is fake on NASA.
Go ahead and put your runner shoes on.
Do more research.
Ah, yes, the PhD physicist who does research as his day job definitely needs to do more research. He ran. All right, y'all. That's actually really great timing because it's noon o'clock. And noon o'clock is when I end my live stream so I can go eat lunch and then I can transition into research mode. So before I forget, I want to tell everybody that you guys should go subscribe to my new clip channel where clips or where debates like that one that you just watched will be appearing as a standalone clip that you can go enjoy. So go subscribe. The link is... Let me go pull up the link. The link that you should subscribe to, this YouTube channel, is called Dr. Blitz Debunks. Make sure to go subscribe. Make sure to go watch the first few videos there. We want to monetize as fast as we can so that we can start having a backup plan in case TikTok stops monetizing. If you want to see it on TikTok, if you're not in the YouTube chat, make sure to go to the link tree in my bio, and you will find a link to the new YouTube channel. All of the debate clips and debunking videos will be there. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to watch, ring the bell, all these lovely things, and I will see you guys tomorrow for more debates. Take care, everybody.